So let's do S3 client equals new S3 client. Let's import this one from AWS SDK client S3. And now we need to specify some information about this client, like region. The region is when you create a bucket, you select region. I always select the default one, which is US East 1. And then you also need to have credentials for your client. And here you have access key ID. And we also have secret access key. And we have this inside our env file, so we can do the just process env AWS access key, and here for the secret we do the same, but it's called the secret key, like this. Right, so we have our S3 client prepared. And now what do we want to do? Now with this client, we want to upload our file, right? So how can we do this? We are doing this with S3 client. We are doing this with send. But we are not sending file here. Instead, we are sending a new put object command. So we are sending commands. Let's see, object command. And this is also something we need to import. It imports for me automatically. And inside this command, we need to specify, some information. We need to specify the bucket, and the bucket is, the bucket name. I will put it here. I think it was David food ordering, if I remember correctly. Now we also need a key, and the key will be file name. As you can see here, we actually have a file name like this emg, and this is our original file name, but I want to change it. I want to make it random. Why? Because if you upload this to S3 and someone else uploads with the same name, then it will be a collision, and we don't want to have any collisions with the files. So we need to have unique file names. So we need to have a key, so the file name that is unique. Let's first do new file name, and what will be the new file name? I want to generate random file name, and I want to add this extension .jpg. So first let's grab extension, and extension I will grab by first grabbing the whole name. So let's grab the name from file.name, and then I will split it with this dot to an array .split with a dot, and I will grab the last part. How we can grab the last part? Well, to grab the last part, I can do slice, and I will do -1. I will comment this out for now, and I will see how the extension looks like, because I don't know if it's actually a string or an array. So let's do like this, refresh. I will open my console here, edit, let's open this one. And as you can see, it's an array. So I want to grab the first part. So let's do 0. And now this looks fine. All right, so we have extension. So we can do new file name. And first I want to have some random string. And to do this, I will install something like unique ID, and it generates just unique identifiers. As you can see, you run this function and it returns something like this. So let's go here, yarn add unique ID, and now it's installing. I'm going to run it here, unique ID. It's not installed yet, that's why I cannot import it automatically. Let's do import unique ID from unique ID. Let's see if this is correct way of importing it. I will just copy paste it, unique ID. All right, and now here I'm going to run it, unique ID, and I'm going to add a dot with extension. Now let's do console log to see how our new file name will look like. So let's go here, refresh, edit, let's pick this one, and let's see here. As you can see, the new file name will look like this. .jpg, and this is a unique file name, and this looks nice. Maybe not nice, but it's unique, so it does the job. So let's uncomment this, and for the key we can put our new file name. Right, we have a bucket, we have the key, we want to specify ACLs, and the ACLs will be public read, because when we send this command, when we send this file, we want this file to be publicly available. All right, so we have ACLs to be public. We also need to send the content type, because we need to tell what type of file is it. And if you scroll a little bit up, as you can see, we have this type here, and this is actually what we need to send. So let's just do file type, and I think this should do the job. And the last thing is body, and the body is the body of our file. So here we actually need, we cannot just send the file, it will not work. Instead, we need to send a buffer of the file contents. So I will put here buffer. As you can see, it's now underlined, it's not defined, but I will prepare this here. So we have a file, and this file has a stream. I don't know, it's complicated, but we just need to read this stream, and inside for loop. Let's do for await, because file stream is actually an async function. And now for each chunk inside of this stream, each chunk of file stream, for each chunk we want to save this chunk somewhere. So let's do const chunks equals empty array, and we are going to add all of the chunks together. So let's push another chunk after we are done reading this chunk. Right, and then if we have, after we read all of the chunks, we want to convert them to a buffer. So let's do const buffer equals, and here just buffer, and here concat, and here just our chunks, and that should do the job. And here we put our buffer. We have this await here, and well, this means we uploaded our file. But now I want to know the link. I want to return response JSON with the link. Well, the link will look something like this: HTTPS, and then the bucket name. The bucket name is David Food Ordering, and then we just do s3 Amazon AWS.com / and then the new file name. So let's do plus and new file name. Right. Maybe we can make this shorter. Let's see. I can put this bucket name somewhere here above. Let's do const bucket equals this, and here bucket, and even here I will do just like this, plus, and here between bucket. Okay. Maybe I can even put a link here above, so it will look better. So let's do response JSON link. Maybe we can call it link to file, doesn't really matter. But it should respond with JSON with the link. So now let's see if this will work. Edit, and let's open. We are sending this upload, and it's still pending. Okay, we get 200, and the preview, we get a link. Let's copy this one. Let's see, and I see my photo here. So now it works. All right, so we get a link. So let's go to our profile page, and let's see. We have this function called handle file change, and we are sending this fetch request or post request, and we get a response here. Let's grab the response, and let's do console log response to see what's inside. Right, so I will refresh everything here. Let's go to console. I will pick this file again. I will upload it. Inside the network, you can see we sent this request, and let's see the response. We have a response body, and well, response body is actually our readable stream, and it contains JSON. So let's grab it like this: const JSON equals response body. Well, it shouldn't be the body. I think we have JSON method here, and we need to add a wait here. So let's put like this, and let's do console log of just this JSON. It should be a string. So let's see. I'm going to refresh here. Let's clear this, and I will upload once again. Let's go to console, and let's see, we have our string. So that worked nice. So this is not actually a string JSON. Well, it is JSON, but it has only this link. It's a string, so we have a link here. So we have a link, and what do we want to do with the link? Well, with the link, we want to update this photo, right? So we want to put this link into this image, into this user image. This user image is actually comes from session, if I remember correctly. Let's see, user image. It's defined here. It comes from session. Well, this is wrong, and instead of this coming from the session, we want to come it from the state. So let's prepare state for this. Image set image equals use state, and default will be empty string. And because we want to have session as the default, we will go to here, and when we see that session or status of the session changes, we will do set image to session. Let's see how it goes here. I think it's session data user image, like this. And now we don't need this user image here. Instead, we will just use this image from the state. So let's see, here we have user image. Let's just put image, and let's refresh, and let's see. Image is missing required source property. All right, but it's just temporary problem. So let's here do something like this. If we have an image, then show the image. So let's put this image here. Now if I refresh, yeah, it looks fine, no warnings. So now after we are done with the uploading and we have the link, let's put it to our set image to our link. So we will see if this will update. Let's do edit. Let's change our image, and it's uploading. It takes like several seconds to upload it. And we try to set it and display it, but again we have this problem that we need to list all of the host names for our images. So let's go to next config, and let's add another protocol will be HTTPS. And same we did with Google user content. Let's add our bucket here. So let's do host name, and let's add our bucket. So let's try again, refresh, and loading. Now let's change the image to this one. It's uploading and takes like 2 seconds, and I don't see what's going on. So I would like to add I want to add a preloader or something, but now it's updated. The image is super big, and well, I would like to make it a little bit smaller, right? So let's go to profile page, and let's see where is the image. The image is here. And for this div here on the left side, I would like to, let's see, add max width of XS, or maybe I will do max width of like 120 pixels. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think this looks better. Right, so we have this, and well, it works, it uploads. It doesn't save to my profile, because if I refresh, it reads from the session and from the database. We are just uploading, we haven't saved it. And let's fix this first, right? So it will save to our profile when we click save. When we click save, what we'll run is, we will run this handle profile info update. And we are sending name to be username, but I also want to send the picture, or however it's called. Let's see how it's called inside session. Inside data we have user and we have image. Yeah, I want to send the image. So here I'm going to add image, And image will be actually image. We have the same name inside our state here. So I'm going to send it to as a profile update, and let's go to our here profile inside API. And here, as you can see, we have, if we have a name inside data, then we are updating. But I don't want to add another, like if we have an image inside data, update user again, because if you send both the new name and the new profile picture, I don't want to update it twice. So instead, I'm going to do something like this. Let's do const update. It will be an empty object. And then if we have name, in data, then I'm going to add this into update. So I'm going to add update name will be data name, like this. I can actually do something like this, name, update name will be data name. And here where we are updating, I will just check if we have anything inside update. So if update is, well, maybe I can grab update keys, and I can check that the length is bigger than 0. And here I want also to check if we have an image inside the data. If we do, I want to add it to update. Update image will come from data image. Right, and here we are sending only name, but I want to send the whole update object. Right, now let's see if this will work. I will refresh here. And let's go here, edit, let's upload our file. Now it's uploading, our new photo is uploading. I'm going to add the preloader for it. We have a new photo, but we need to save it. So now if I click save, we get 500 error. Let's see what's the problem. Let's open console here. Cannot read the properties of undefined reading length. Okay, so this doesn't work. I was wrong. It should be object keys. And here we put the object name. It's update. And there's another thing we need to change. Inside our user, we need to put image. We need to define it that it's type of string. No, it's not required, but we just need to tell that it exists. I need to restart my environment because we did some changes here. And now let's try to click the save button again. And let's see. And the profile saved. So this worked. Now let's see what happens if I refresh. If I refresh, it's loading, but it shows the old picture. So something went wrong. Let's see our database, refresh. And let's see on the bottom, we still have the old image here. And here, let's see, I will go back to my profile route, and well, it should be an object. We just need to put it as an update. It's already an object. All right, so now let's try again. Let's edit photo. Let's upload this one. I still need to add some kind of preload so it informs us that it's uploading. But now let's try to save it. Profile saved. Let's see if it's actually saved. I will refresh. And as you can see, we have our new photo here. What I want to do also is that if I select this one, it will upload again, but during the upload, I want to see the message here. So let me go back to the profile page. We have this thing called is saving. I want to have similar is uploading, and set is uploading, default will be false. And here where we are uploading, handle file change. On the beginning, before we will send the request, we will do set is uploading to true. And then after we are done, we will do set is uploading to false, because we are done with uploading. And now here we have something called saving ... with this blue thing. I will do the same is uploading and parentheses. Let's do another h2 with uploading ... And now let's see, let's refresh. If I change this one to this one, open, now it says uploading, and now it's uploaded. So that's cool. I can saving, profile saved. So that is really nice. Let's change this one to this MacBook photo uploading, and now it's fine and I can save it. And if I refresh, I have this MacBook photo. Let's put this one back. Yes, uploading, and now it's uploaded. Let's save it. So I will have a regular photo here. Okay, so now we have our profile that we can update both the photo and the name here. So I can do maybe delete one letter here, and if I refresh, I don't have that letter. All right, so this works. We can update the photo, the avatar, and we can update the name. The next part will be to update, to be able to update addresses. And but before we will do this, I would like to clean this up a little bit, because as you can see, we have a lot of copy paste here, for example, for the saving and uploading. This is the first thing I would like to fix. I will just put a component for this profile saved. It will be a div not h2, and same for this saving and uploading. But what's more important is those two are almost the same, and this almost too. So I'm going to put this as a separate component. Inside components, well, we have menu layout. Maybe I will put this inside layout, and inside layout I will do new file, and let's call it first info box.js, and let's do export default function info box, and we will have children here, and let's do return, and we'll just have this simple div here inside. So let's put this here. Instead of saving, I will print children, right? And now instead of this saving, I can do info box, yes, and it will say saving ... Now here, instead of uploading, we will do the same, info box uploading ... and this looks fine. And now for this saved, we can do a green box, so success box. So let's do new. I will just copy this, copy, and let's do new file success box.js, and let's do export default function success box, whoops, and return parentheses. Let's just put this here, and here just children, and let's grab them from our properties here. Let's go back here, profile saved. So let's do success box, and here profile saved. Yes, we could maybe do also something like error box if we need, but well, I will not handle errors here. You can add yourself if response is not okay here, or if response is not okay here, you can add errors if you want. All right, so now we have this, and we clean it up here a little bit, and I think this is clean enough. Maybe we could also make the avatar different, but well, it's not that crucial for now because it's just 2 lines or 3, so it's not that big of a deal. And the next thing will be actually so we can add and remove addresses. So here underneath we will have a list of addresses, so we can add and remove addresses when we order pizzas, and then we can select addresses, update our addresses, and stuff like this. Right, before we will go into addresses, there is one more thing I would like to show you. So we have those boxes here, profile saved, and even if it's saving, we have a blue box. When it's saved, it's green, and this works fine. But I want to show you another solution for this, and it would be using an existing library that we can just yarn add. So here, as you can see, we have, for example, if it's saving, then it says saving. If it's uploading, it says it's uploading. And if we have saved, then we save profile saved, and this works fine. We have state for everything, but there are other things that we can do instead. I want to show you how to use React Hot Toast, and this is like a simple pop-up, as you can see, that you can trigger from code, and it's really simple to add. So as you can see, we just need to yarn add React Hot Toast. I just want to show you that you can do the same thing with different approaches. You can have your own, you can implement your own info and success boxes, or you can use a library like this. So now I'm going to show you how to do this with this library. So as you can see, we just need to yarn add this, and then for basic usage, we just need to add toaster somewhere to our page, and then we just trigger this with this toast function. So let me add first this toaster that we need to add, and I think I will add this to my, let's see, to my layout. So here, layout, and let's add toaster. Yes, and let's see. Yes, it is imported here. We don't need a session provider here anymore. And now we can just run toast like this. So let me go back to our profile page. And let's see, let's maybe start with this upload. Let me see, here we have, if it's uploading, we have this blue info box that it's uploading. Let's remove this, and let's see where we have this set is uploading. We have this function for upload. Here it is. Here we are setting when a file changes inside a input type file. We are first doing this uploading to true, and after it's done, we do set this uploading to false. Let's remove those two. And well, first we want to inform that it's uploading, right? And then we want to inform that uploading is complete. We can do two boxes. The first will be toast. Let's do toast like this, and it will say uploading ... And after we are done with this request, it will say toast and upload complete, something like this, upload complete. And we can add some more stuff to this. Let's see. You can see we have position, style, theme, and we can do even icons, duration, but there is something more. If we go here, we can do, for example, toast success. So let's do toast.success, and then it will be bluish, greenish, sorry. So now let's see what happens if I try to upload something. I will upload this MacBook. So now it says uploading here, and then upload complete. So that is really nice. There is also another way of implementing the same thing. As you can see, they have a promise here, toast promise, and you just run this toast promise where the first param, or the first argument is the promise, and then the second is what should be shown when it's running the promise, and then what should be shown if it's complete, or if it's done, and then what should happen if there's an error. And I think that's much better, because this can fail, right? So you can also put fetch into something like this and handle what should happen if something fails. Here we should probably also do if response okay, then we want to do this toast success, and if response is not okay, we should probably do toast error, saying upload error, something like this. And we will never see this because our uploading just works, but well, it's an easy way of handling errors, right? So now we fix this for uploading. Let's maybe do the same thing for saving profile and saved profile. So I'm going to remove those boxes here, and we also don't need those let's see, we don't need those boxes here, info box and success box. We don't need them anymore because we are using now this React Hot Toast. All right, so let me see where we are running this. Handle profile info update. Here we are setting is saving to true. and then when it's done, we are setting this is saving to false. So let's do something like this: toast, and let's have a function, just a regular info function, saving ... and then let's do, after it's saved here, let's do toast success and profile saved, something like this. And we don't need this, and we don't need this, and as you can see, we have a lot of state that we don't need anymore. For saved is saving and uploading, so let's just remove it. And now let's see, I will just hit save here, and it says saving and then profile saved. We can probably also try to use this toast promise for either upload or saving the profile, because now, as you can see, if we click save, then we first get the saving and then profile saved. But when we see profile saved, we shouldn't see this saving anymore, right? So let me try to implement this with promise. So let's maybe here create a promise first. Let's do new promise, and here we will have a function that will have resolve and reject. And now let's do something like this. Let's do saving promise equals this new promise, and now let's do like this. Let's put this saving fetch inside, and we don't need to do a wait here. We can add, or maybe let's do a wait, and let's do here async, because we have this await. And let's remove this response, okay, and let's remove this saving. All right, and we have saving promise, but now we need to also run this resolve and reject. So what I want to do is I want to run one of those functions depending if the response is okay or not. So if response is okay, then resolve, otherwise else reject. All right, and this should work, but we need to put this like this, and let's see, this should work. Now maybe we can put it more like this, so it will look better. All right, so we have our saving response, and now we can use it with toast. So let's do toast and toast promise, and here first is the response, promise. So let's do saving promise, and then we have options like loading, and loading text will be saving ... and then let's do success, and let's just do profile saved ! And if we have an error, let's just say error. All right, and this looks fine. Let's see why I have warning this, because I should add a wait here. All right, now let's see if this will work. I will do refresh here. Let's hit saving, and then we have profile saved. So as you can see, now when I click this save button, first we have this saving, but then it's replaced with this profile saved. So that's really nice. Maybe we can even do the same for the uploading. So instead of doing two different toasts, or three, first we have uploading. Let me change this image. If I do this, first we have uploading, then we will have upload complete, but we still see this uploading, and after like few seconds it disappears. This one first, and then this one. So let's get rid of those, and let's get rid of this, and let's see. We have all of this that we need to run inside a promise. So we have this await for fetch, and then we await for JSON. Let's create a promise for this. Maybe we could do this without promise, but and just using this fetch. But let me show you how we can just create a promise. Let's do saving promise, or maybe upload promise equals new promise, and then with resolve and reject, we just put all of this inside. And first here I will check, because we are not checking if the response is okay. So if response is okay, so it's 200 or something like this, and we don't have any 500 error. If the response is okay, we want to do this. So we want to do this, and we want to resolve our promise. But if it's not okay, we want to do let's see, we we want to do reject here for our promise. And then here underneath, we can do toast and promise, and we need to add a wait here. And first our promise will be upload promise. Then we need to add options here. For loading, it will say uploading ... Then for success, it will say upload complete. And then for error, it will say upload error. Yeah, something like this. So now let's see if this works. So I will refresh here. Let's do edit, and I will upload this image. Uploading. So it works. It's uploading. Upload complete. That works really nice. We could probably make this simpler. So let me see. First we can probably get rid of this wait and this async, and let's try to do the same thing with then response. Let's do arrow function here. We don't have any response here because we don't have any wait. And now let's put this response ifs here inside. And now if everything works here, we want to just first do this response JSON to JSON. Then we want to grab the link and we want to set the image to this link. We don't need this and we don't need this. And then we want to resolve as well. Otherwise, if the response is not okay, we are doing here reject. But actually what I think we can do as well is we can just throw an error, new error, saying error, yes, and or maybe we can do like something went wrong, something went wrong. All right, and but we still have this promise. But now let's see, we have this reject. We don't need this promise most likely. Let's see, I will get rid of this promise, and now I will do like this. Let me just change this indentation to this, and let's do saving promise equals this, and we don't have any resolve, so I will get rid of this and I will just return this instead, and this will be our async function that will be returned. Let's see if this will actually work. So I will do here, shouldn't be saving promise, it should be upload promise, and let's see if this will work this way. So let me change an image to this, and it's uploading and upload complete. So yeah, it works. It works because we are sending this as a promise. This is an async function, so that's why we can do .then and we can return another async function. Let's see what happens if we put this error on the beginning. Let's see if we will get an error. So if I change an image back to this one, let's see if it's uploading. It's uploading, but we should get an error. Yeah, upload error. So this is nice. Let's put this back as it should be. And yeah, we can also do this this way, and we can actually also put all of this into here, so we don't need to have it as a constant here. We can just put all of this into here. So let's try, and we have something like this. So we do toast promise, and then we have this fetch with then and stuff like this. I don't know if it's better. I prefer to have it this way. So we have upload promise. But well, it depends how you write your code. It doesn't really matter. This looks fine with this fetch and then returning response JSON as another promise and throwing an error if the response is not okay. But here we have also with just saving promise by creating a new promise with resolve and reject. This works too. I think this one is a little bit shorter, so I think I like this one better without creating a separate promise for everything. And yeah, I think those toasts look really nice. So if I click save, profile saved, that looks nice. If I refresh, I have this new image, but let me put back the actual picture of me uploading, upload complete. I have my picture here, so that is really nice. Let's hit saved, profile saved. So yeah, that works nicely. And we have much less code here inside because we don't have those if saving, then let's do info box, if saved, then let's do success box. So that is nice. Right, but now let's get into our addresses. So here underneath I would like to have a list of addresses. So let's get into it. Right, so we can either put addresses here between this and the footer, so here a list of addresses, or we can put it maybe here just on the right side, and we can do several addresses, like depending where you want to deliver your pizza, or we can have several addresses. So if you are on your parents' house or something like this, then you can have several addresses. But I think it would be easier to start with just one address, right? So here I think I'll start by putting a few more inputs for address stuff. So we need like a phone number, we need a street address, we need the city, postal code, and country. So let's get into it. It will be several inputs. So let's see. First, I will have a street address. So let's do a street address, and street address. It will not be type street address. It will be just type of text, and then we will have a placeholder saying street address. Right? Let's see. Yeah, we have street address. Then I also need to have another for city, and another one for postal code and country, and let's get the one for postal code or zip, or however you want to call it. Yeah, so this looks fine. Except that now I would like to have this part aligned to the left, to the top, so it should go up. Let me see, we have this flex item center here. Probably here we just need to get rid of this. Yeah, and now it looks better. Now I think we can put city and postal code next to each other. So let's see, here we have city and postal code. I will do div flex, and let's put those here inside, city, postal code. But first I want to have postal code and then city. Let's add a little bit of gap, like gap 2. And now we have something like this, postal code and city. Right, let's add more gap. Let's do 4, and let's see now. Yeah, I think it looks fine. All right, so now we need to have state for all of those. State for street address, postal code, city, country, and we also need a phone number. So maybe under the email we will first have a phone number. Let's do phone number, and we have probably type for this as well. Let's see, the type can be checkbox, color, date, email, file, hidden image, month, number. Let's do number, or do we have tel? Yeah, we have also tel. Input type tel. Let's see, yes it is. So this one will work best, because when you have it on your mobile, it will show only numeric keyboard. But as you can see, it's not styled. We need to go to our global CSS, and here we need to add type of phone. So let's do not phone, tel. Okay, and same for disabled. We have for password, we need to add for tel. So let's do tel, right? And now it's styled. Now we need to have state for all of those. So let's go to profile page, and let's go up to our state, and let's see, we will need state for phone, set phone, and we will need state for street address, and we need to have a state for postal code, and we need to have a state for city, and we need to have state for country. Right, now I have all of those, and now we need to have we need to add value and on change. So let's do this. I'm going to put this maybe here. So let's do value equals phone, and then on change we will have event set phone event target value, and we will basically do the same thing for all of the other inputs. So let me do this maybe like this, and now let's do value will be here street address, and let's add on change. On change we will get event set street address event target value. Now let's see, here we have postal code. Let's put some of this into new line, and here let's do value postal code. Let's add on change event we will do set postal code event target value. And now here we have city. Let's put this here, let's do value city, and on change event let's do set city event target value. All right, and the last one, country. Let's put this here, let's do value country, and on change let's do event, and let's do set country event target value. All right, so we have now styling for, or not storing, state for all of the inputs. It's a lot of inputs, and this grew a little bit, so we will later clean it up when we fix the saving even for our address, right? So we don't need this session here anymore. We don't need to have this console log for the session. Now let's see, when we hit this save, we are saving profile and we are sending name and the image. I would like to send more stuff, so I want to send also like street address, all of this. So let's send street address, let's send the phone number, let's send the postal code, city, and the country. So we are sending all of this to API profile. Now let's go there to API profile, and now here we are saving name and the image to our user. Let's do maybe the same thing with our address. But the thing is that even if I add this to our user object, user model, it will probably not be available to our session, because session has only like email, image, and name. It doesn't have ID of the user and none of this. But we can still try to just save it to the user. So we can go to the user model and we can put all of this properties, all of new fields here. So we can do like phone, it will be type of string, and I can just copy this and put more of those, and we are just going to change phone, street address type string, and then we will also have a postal code, and we will also have a city, and the last one will be country, and that should do this. So now I'm going to also remove this import because we don't need it, and now I'm going to restart my environment, yarn dev. Let's run this again so we can have those new changes. All right, and let's go back to our profile route. And now let's see, I will add another if that will say if we have city in data, then we also want to add all of this city and postal code and everything into this update object. But as you can see inside our profile page, we are always sending everything like this. We are not sending just few of those. We are always sending all of those. So let's just skip this. If we have a name, if we have an image, if we have a city, we always have all of them inside our data. So we can just get rid of those ifs, and instead of having this update here, we can just update all of information that is inside our data object. And now we don't have this update object, so we can get rid of this if because we don't need this. We just, wherever comes inside data, wherever comes inside the JSON, inside the request, we are using this to save, to update the user. So we just grab the email from the session and we just update with the data that comes from the JSON. So now it's much more simple. Now let me try to put the phone number. I will just put 1234 and let's see here inside our network what will happen. So I will hit save. Now it's saving and let's see, profile saved. So this looks nice. Let's see in the database if we have this 1234 inside my user. Let's see, database, browse collections, users. Let's scroll down. We have image here and we have even phone. All right, now let's go back to our profile page and let me open this here. Let's refresh, but now it disappeared. Okay, let's see if we have it inside session. So I'm going to put back our session here, console log for the session, and let's see if we have it inside session. So we have session, data, user, and as you can see, we have only email, image, and name. Only those three. So we don't have, for example, ID, we don't have email verified, we don't have updated at, we don't have city, country, phone, none of those. So what can we do now? Well, we can just grab all of the information about the profile. So all the information about our user. So here we have this put for updating. Let's add another one. Let's add a get for just returning all of the data. So let's do export async function. Here we will do get. And we don't need any request information here, I guess. First, we just need to connect. So let's connect to our database. And then, well, we want to grab session and user email like this. And then if we have an email of already logged in user, we want to return all of the user information of this email. So let's do return and let's do response JSON. But here inside, I want to do await. Let's do user find one, and I want to find one by this email, right? And now let's go back to our profile page, and we have this use effect here that we are running when something changes with the session or session status. And here inside we can do something like this. We can do here fetch request. So we will fetch the profile information about our user, and then let's do response equals this. It's just a regular get request. And then when we have this response, let's just await, add await here. Maybe let's do this with then, because we have use effect here, and use effect doesn't like if you do await, if you do async functionality without that then, and you do await instead. So let's do then, and then we will have a response, and let's do arrow function here like this. With this response, let's do JSON. And let's add then here for this when we are done with the JSON. And here we will have the date. We will have a data. So here we will have this JSON to an object. All right. So we have this data. Let's just do a console log of this data. This will be our user data that we are returning from API. Let's refresh and let's see. Now, as you can see here, we have all of the data. So we get ID, we get phone, we get everything. Because we get everything, we get also phone, postal address, street address, and so on. So now I'm going to use this data to set all of those street address, set street address, set postal code, and so on. All right, so let's start with maybe phone, set phone, and let's do here data phone. Then we need also to do the same thing for set street address, data street address. Then let's do set postal code, data dot postal code. And now let's see, we can do city. So let's do set city and data city, right? And then let's do set country, and here data country, right? Do we have all of those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the phone. I guess we have all of those. So now if I refresh, we get our number 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I now change something here, like I will do street address test street 1, 2, 3, and I hit save. we are saving. Now it's saved. And if I refresh, I should have now same thing. Yes, seems to work. So this works nice. We can update our address. Looks really nice. For now, we have only one address per user. But later we can add so we can have several addresses. Let's add the postal code of 12345 and the city. I will just put Stockholm here for now, and country Sweden. So we'll have some data for this user. Here will be the phone number. I will just put some random phone number, something like this. Or you can add something like this. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. This looks now fine. Maybe there's something wrong with the spacing here, but we can fix it. So let's go to this div that we have a flex and gap, and as you can see, it has too much of a spacing, and this is because we have a margin from this input. We have a margin bottom here, and we have margin top of those, and we have double of the margin because we have from the bottom here and from the top here. We have the same thing, the bottom here and top here for other inputs, but the thing is, if those inputs are next to each other, then those two margins will collide and it will be joined. So now here we have double because those two are inside a separate div here, as you can see. So to fix it, we can just add a class name on those two inputs saying there will be no margin on the top and the bottom on those two. And this should help. Let's see. No, this didn't help. Let's see why. I will inspect here. We still get a margin on those two. So this didn't work. Maybe instead we can just put a style instead. So let's do margin, and we need to put an object here, margin like this, and it will be 0. So now we have something like this. I think it's better. Now let's just put the same thing for this input here, and now it looks fine. Now we can probably decrease the gap here to maybe 2. Yeah, and I think this looks much better. Now we can also add maybe some labels here, because now everything is filled, but we don't know that this is actually name and this is phone number. We don't have any labels. We only have those placeholders, but it will be much nicer to have labels so we will know what is what. So let me see. I will go here, and first we have first and last name. Let me add a label, and that will just say the same thing. It will be first and last name. Let me see. Yeah, we have this, and I will put the input maybe inside, or maybe no, let's put it next to the input. All right, so let me maybe put this like this. I will put the type and placeholder on one line, and then value and on change on another line like this. So we have label, and then we have an input. I need to have labels for all of those. So we have like phone placeholder here, phone number, street address, postal code, city, country. So let's fix it first. And even here we have email, but we don't even have a placeholder here for email. So let's do here like this. It's disabled. We have a value, but we don't have any placeholder. A placeholder. We probably don't need placeholder because it's always filled in, but well, doesn't really matter. So let's do like this, and let's add a label for it saying email, right? And now I don't like the styling of this, but I will also add another one for phone. Let's do phone here, phone. I don't like the styling. We have a lot of margin here going on. Let's go back to our global CSS, and let's see what do we have here. So we have margin on the top and the bottom of 2. I'm going to change it to margin bottom will be 2, or maybe let's do margin bottom 4, and margin top will be nothing. So now, as you can see, the labels are closer to the inputs. Maybe we can decrease it to 2. Yeah, I think this looks fine. Now We don't have any spacing here, but we can save it with when we get down here. Let's fix now the labels for the rest of the inputs. So let's do a label for let's see, street address, and then we have those two that are next to each other. So let's do a label for postal code, and let's do a label for city. Right, so now as you can see, because of this everything is next to each other. So to fix it, I'm going to put two divs, the first one for this label and this input, and then the second for this city and input for city. So now we have something like this, and I think this will work fine. Then we have the last input, so let's do the last label for our country here, right? And I think this this looks fine. We don't have any spacing here though, so let's try to remove this margin 0 on those inputs, and let's see what will look like. Yeah, now we have the spacing, so this looks better. I would like to fix this those labels. Let's go to global CSS, and I will do something like this: default styling for label. I want to apply some Tailwind classes saying that the text will be gray 500. Let's see. Yes, looks nice. I want the text to be smaller, text SM. Yeah, this works nice, and maybe we can make it closer to the inputs by changing the leading to 3. Let's do leading 2. No, this didn't do anything. Let's see. Let's refresh. Leading to class does not exist. Okay, let's do leading, and let's see what we have. Really snug. Let's do tight. Yeah, I don't know if this helps, but well, we can also add something like this: label, and if we have an input next to a label, then I want to do margin top of -10 pixels. And now, as you can see, they are actually under the labels. The inputs are under the labels. Let's decrease this to maybe 4 pixels. Yeah, this looks okay. Maybe too close to each other. -2 pixels. Yeah, I think this this looks nice. Maybe we can do labels even smaller. I don't know. I think this this will work for now. Right. So this looks fine. We have profile with address. We can edit all of the address. We can edit name, phone. We can edit the avatar if we want, and saving works, and we have those nice looking toasts. So I think we are done here with editing profile, and the next thing will be actually an admin panel, so we can do well, we can add pizzas, we can add other dishes, meals, we can edit prices if we are an admin. This is just a regular profile, but let's say that if you are an admin, we will check if this is email and this is one of admin's emails. Then you should have on your profile more stuff like admin panel, where you can edit everything, categories, meals, and prices, and everything. So we need to fix something that well, let's say that I am an admin. We need to add me as an admin somewhere, and then I should be able to actually do all of the admin stuff. Right, so now to have some kind of admins, we need to first know who is admin, right? So first I want to add my user as an admin. So I'm going to add it to my database first manually. So here's my database. We have account, session, users. I'm going to add a new collection here. So let's call it just admins. Let's just create this collection. It will be empty, and I'm going to insert a document here into this admins collection, and the only field will be email, and here I will just put my email here. So let me just put my email, and let's insert this one. So now we have admins collection, and it has the list of all of email admins, right? And I'm admin because my email is inside. But now I would like to know it, right? So if I'm an admin, I would like to have it in profile information. So as you remember, inside our API profile and GET request, we are fetching information about our user, but we have also now this admins collection. So it would be nice also to have information if this user is admin or not. So for now we have collection of admins, but if we have it this way, admins, we need to look to a separate collection to admins. There's another way. I did this way with my e-commerce project, but I want to show you also another way. I will get rid of these admins for now. I will delete this one, drop collection, and let's go to users. And I will add a property to my user. So let's edit this one and let's add a property called admin, and the value will be true. And let's change this from a string to a binary, and let's see, maybe not binary, let's see, I will make it a boolean, sorry, not binary, boolean, admin true. And now let's go to our user model and let's add here admin, and the type will be boolean and default will be false. So by default, a new created user is not an admin. All right, so we have information about admin. Let's restart our environment, and now let's see here. I will open here my network console and let's see what will we get. So profile information get, let's see, we have information here, and as you can see it says admin true. If I log in as another user, I will have this as admin false. But now, as you remember, we are fetching all of this information inside our profile page. So if we go here, we have this, let's see, we have it here. Here we have file change and the profile update. And here we are fetching information about the user. We are doing this get request to API profile. And inside this data, now we have also admin that is true or false. So we can save it to our state, like admin, or maybe we can call it is admin, and set is admin. Use state default will be false. And now let's do set is admin. And as you remember, inside data, it's called admin, not is admin. In our database, it's just called admin true or false. And in here we have this as is admin. We could use the same naming, but it doesn't really matter. So now I know inside the state that I'm admin. So what can we do with this page? I would like to do something like this, that when I click on my name here, I will see my profile, but I would like to have more like tabs to have profile and admin stuff, right? So let me do something here. Here we have this H1 for profile header. But instead, I would like to have a div with buttons or links. So I'm going to put a link here first to profile. So let's put profile. The first link will go to just profile. And then if you are an admin, so let's do is admin, let's do end, I will do parentheses. There will be several elements here for admin. So let's do React fragment here. And now let's do link for other stuff like dishes or meals. Let's do first categories, like this. And let's call this one categories. And now let's do another one for, we can call it meals, or we can call it menu items, maybe better, menu items, like this. Let's call this one here just items, or I don't know, we can put menu items. And I think we will also need to have for users, so we can edit users. We can edit someone else's address if you are an admin, or you can edit if someone is an admin or not. So let's do admins, and or maybe just users, and here let's do users. Now let's see, we have those tabs kinda. Now let's style it a little bit. So inside this div, let's do class names. And first I want to do inline flex inline, not flex initial. Let's do flex, and let's add some gap of 2. And now what I would like to do is, let me see, we have those links here. Now what I want to do is for each link here, let me see, I will select this one, this one, this one. I will add class names to all of those. So let's do, I want this to be, or maybe, you know, instead of typing class names in all of those, I will name this div above that is a parent. I will name it tabs. And now I will go to globals. And now I will do something like this, div tabs, and to anything that is a child to div tabs, I'm going to apply some classes. Apply classes like background primary, text white, rounded full, and let's add some padding on the top and the bottom of 2 and on the sides of 4. Now let's see how it looks like. Yeah, this looks much better. But I don't want all of those to be active. Instead, I want only one to be active, and in this case should be profile. So let's change this from text white and background primary to, let's do background gray. Let's do gray 300 and text gray, I don't know, 700. Now let's see. Now we have something like this. I would like those to be centered, and one of those needs to be red. So how can we do this? Well, we can do something like this, class name, and then we can check if the URL is profile, and if it is, then we can make this class and we can add a class name active. For now, I will just add a active without checking because I just want to style it a little bit. So let's do div tabs, and then anything that is inside with class active will have following class names. So let's do background primary and text white. All right, now this one should be red. Yes. Let's go to our page here, and now for the tabs, I want this one to be actually inline flex. Let's see. Yes, and now let's try to do MX auto on the sides, so it will be centered. No, it's not. But well, instead of doing inline flex, I will do just flex. And now let's try to do justify, and let's do maybe center, justify center. And now everything is in the middle. Right, that looks nice, and we can move between those tabs now. Profile, categories, menu items. Would be nice maybe to put icons to those, right? Profile, user icon, categories, I don't know, a list, menu items, I don't know, chicken or something, and users, a group of people. So first I will grab this and I will make it as a separate component. So let's cut it from here, and let's see. Inside layout, I will do a new component called, let's call it tabs.js. I think this will be all of the tabs we'll have, or maybe let's call it user tabs.js. And here inside, let's do export default function, user tabs, and well, inside let's do a return, and let's return all of this. And here is we will need is admin, so let's define it as a property, is admin. All right, and now let's try to use it. So let's go back here to our profile page, and now let's do user tabs, and let's pass is admin to is admin from our state. So now we have it, and we don't need this h1 anymore, but we will need some spacing here. So on this div, let's do margin top of 4. Let me see, maybe 4 is not enough. Let's do 8. Let's see. Yeah, I think that is much better. So we have profile, categories, menu items, and users. All right, so we have some navigation here, and well, the next thing would be to fix so we can click on categories, and we will have have a working page here. So let's go to our, I will close this API. Let's do new directory called, well, categories. And inside we will need a page.js. So let's do page.js. Let's do export default function. Let's do categories page. Yes. Let's do return. And what do we want to return? Let's do a section for now. And now inside we will do just categories. Right. And we have categories page. We will need here some class names to make it more like centered and stuff like this. So first let's do margin top will be 8. Let's do max width of, I don't know, medium for now, or maybe let's do large. Then let's do MX auto so it will be centered. Let's see. Yeah, something like this. And then first I want to have our tabs. So let's do user tabs and let's pass is admin to be false just for now, or maybe let's pass it to true so we will see more of the tabs. Right, we are on categories page, but we see this one marked as profile that is active. If I go here, you can see it's profile, it's okay. But if I go to and click categories, we are on categories page, but profile is selected. I think that if we go here, we can use something like use path name from next. Yes, let's import this one. Let's do const path equals use path name, and let's do console log of it to see what we have inside. So use path name only works in client components. All right, let's make this one a client component. Let's do use client, and now let's see. I will do inspect here, and let's see console. The path is /categories. All right, so that is nice. Thanks to this, we can check which link is actually active. So we can do something like this. Here we have profile and it's always active. But instead of doing like this, that it's always active, let me first put this and this into separate line, and let's put it here, and let's put this here, maybe like this. We have class name active, so it's always active. But now let's do something like this. If path is exactly /profile, then it's active. Otherwise, it's not active. All right. And now profile is active. But if I go to categories, it's not active. So now we need to do the same thing for categories and menu items. And I think we can do it a little bit simpler here. I'm going to select all of those, and let's do something like, no, this will not work. Let's do this manually. So I will put this here, this here, this here, this here, this here, and this here. So we will have more space, something like this, and like this, and something like this. So we will have more spacing for all of the attributes. Now, maybe I will just copy class name and put it here. And if path is actually categories, then it's active. Here, the path needs to be menu items, and here the path name needs to be users /users. All right, so now we can toggle between profile and categories, and it looks fine. When I go back to profile, we have a little bit of loading, because on our profile page, when as you can see, if the session status is loading, we only see loading text and nothing more. Or maybe it's not about the session, but it's about we are fetching information about our user. So that's why on the beginning we have only profile and not information if it's admin or not. Here we are fetching information. Let me see, here inside the use effect, we are fetching information about the profile. Maybe we can add something like here, information for profile fetched or something like this if we want. So let's do state for it. So let's do const profile fetched and set profile fetched. It will be false on the beginning, but after we set all of this, let's do also set profile fetched to true. And now let's see. Now if we refresh, we still have this loading, and then we have only one tab on the beginning because we don't know that it's an admin. but let me see. Here we are loading for if the session status is loading, then we do loading. Let's also do the same if not profile fetched, then let's also do loading. So now loading, whoops, let's do or profile not fetched. Let's do refresh. So we have loading, and then we see all of the categories, all of the tabs at the same time. So we don't see profile first and then the rest. I go to categories, I go to profile, we first see this loading thing. Right, would be nice probably to see some tabs even if user information is loading, but well, it's not that super important. Well, now the problem is that on the categories page, we also need to know if the user is admin or not, because let me log out. And I just logged out, and if I go, I'm not logged in. If I go to /categories, let's do /categories, I can still access this page, right? So the thing is that even if I'm on the categories page here, I need to have information somewhere here inside state if we are if it's admin or not, and if it's not an admin, we should redirect to the login or profile page, or well, we shouldn't show this page, right? So we can fetch the information about our profile the same way we do it here. So on our profile page, we have this fetch, as you can see. We are fetching profile like this, and then we set is admin from the profile information from the response. So let's do the same thing on the categories page. We need to have effect here, use effect. And first, let's just put empty arrow function. We will not have any dependencies. And here we will just do fetch on /API/profile. And then let's do then. We have response. With this response, we need to run JSON. Then we will have data about our user. And with this data, we only need if it's admin or not. So let's prepare this. So let's do is admin, set is admin equals use state from React. Default will be false. And here we can do set is admin to data.admin. All right. So now let's see. We have an error. You are importing component. Okay, we need to do use client here. Use client. Yes. And now we have an error. All right. Let's see what's the problem. Failed to load the 500. Okay, so there's a 500 error. Yes, on /API/profile. Let's see response maybe here. Cannot read properties of null reading user. Right, so it looks, the problem is that we cannot fetch information about profile if we are not logged in. So let's fix it inside our API profile. So let's go to API and profile and route. And the problem is here. So we are grabbing user email, but we are trying to read user here from session, but session is empty. So this is the problem. So how can we fix it? We just need to check if user exists. Let's then add question mark. So if it's empty, it will not go further. And here, before we will fetch this user, we will first check if there's no email. Then we will do a return response JSON with null. Yeah, something like this. So now if I refresh, we still get an error, but it's because we are trying to read admin out of null, right? So let's go to our categories page, or maybe here instead of null we can do empty object, so we will not have any error. Yeah, that's correct. Now let's go back to our categories page, and let's see, here we have this is admin, then we have set is admin. So here we can maybe show those tabs, or maybe not here, not to show the tabs. We will not show anything if you are not an admin. So let's do something like this. If not is admin, then let's return not an admin, something like this. So now I'm not logged in, and I'm not an admin, so that's why I get this not an admin. You can change this to redirect if you want, or you can just keep it as like it is. And if we just log in with an admin user, we should have it working. I have an error and I don't know why. Let's refresh and log in with Google. I will pick my user here. I don't know what happened. Let's try to log in once again. No, something is not working. Let's see. Maybe I need to restart my environment. Let's see. I will go back to my localhost 3000, sorry. And then let's do login with Google. And now as you can see, it doesn't work. The whole login functionality doesn't work. It says to confirm your identity, sign in with the same account you signed originally. I'm not sure, but I think this can be an error because we changed this user model and they don't like it. So let me try to delete my user here, and I will go back to the login page and let's see if this will work then. So I'm going to log in with my user here and I'm logged in. So it works, but now I deleted everything, and the problem is that we cannot have it inside users. So if I refresh, I will get my user back, but well, I cannot store information there. So I think we can maybe put a separate collection for it called user infos or user meta. So let's call the new collection and let's do user infos, yeah, something like this. And there inside I will put all of the information that we put inside our user model. So stuff like phone, street address, postal code, city, country, and is admin. I'm going to put it to user info. So I'm going to cut it from here, and now let me put this into a separate model. Let's go to our models here. I will do a new file and let's do user info.js and let's define our model. So let's do const user info schema first equals new schema, and let's paste this here. We will need to have identification about whose schema it is. So let's do email and let's do type of string and let's do that it's required. Right, let's add here timestamps as well. So let's do timestamps to true. And now let's define a model. So let's do user info equals export const user info equals. Let's first try inside the models if we have user info. Otherwise, let's do new model function. Let's see. Yes, it's imported model user info with user info schema, user info schema with capital U here. Okay, this should work. Now let's go back to, let's see, user. Yeah, this should work. Now let's go back to our profile route inside the API. And here, as you can see, we are returning a user with this email. But the problem is now this user doesn't contain information about information that we have inside user infos. So I'm going to put this first here, const user equals this, and then I will also add user info here, and I will actually do the same, except we will do here user info, find one, and now we want to combine those two together here. So let's put an object here, and let's say that we want to combine those together. So let's do user and dot user info. So now our profile should work. Let me see. Loading. Yeah, we get some info here, but now we need to fix that when we update, for example, phone or something, it should save this, not like this, all of it to the user, but instead it should put all of the info inside user info. Maybe except the name, because the name is inside user. As you can see, let's see here inside user, we have a name that we can update, but all of the rest should go to so phone, street address, postal code, city, country, and if it's admin or not, it should go to user info. Right, so here we have data, but it's all of the data that we are sending from the form. So here instead, I want to update only name, and actually name and image. Let me see. Yeah, we have image and name that I want to put into this user. So let's, instead of doing this data, let's do const and let's do user data equals, and we want to grab only name and name from data name and image from data image. Now let's put it here, user data, or actually we could inline this. So let's just grab this and let's put this here, and yeah, this should work. Now, if we want to update also our user info, and we want to update one with where email is email, and then what do we want to update? We want to update everything that is inside our data except name and image. Well, so how can we do this? Well, there we can exclude, we can loop through, but there is also another way of doing this. So first I will simplify this one. So we have data here that includes both the data for user and for user info. So here we have name and image for user, but here we need to put from data a phone, street address, and so on. So I'm going to grab it separately. So I will do something like this. I want to grab from data, I want to grab name, I want to grab also image. And this way I can do something like this. Here I'm going to put name and image. So those two that I grabbed from data, I want to update inside user collection, user document. And the rest from the data will go to our user info. So I can do something like this, and let's call this one user info, or maybe we can call it other user info. The name doesn't really matter, but this way from data, we will grab name and image to those constants, and everything else will go into this other user info. So we can do something like this. Let's add a wait. We want to update user info where email is email, but here we are going to put other user info. Right, so this should work. Now let's see if it actually does. I'm going to refresh first here, and now let's see if we can do, well, one, or I'm going to put first 1, 2, 3. Let's do saving, profile saved. Let's refresh, and I don't see my phone number. So let's see if we are getting this information from our network, if it's saved or not. Let's refresh, and let's see, profile 200, and we get a lot of weird stuff here where we fetch profile. So this doesn't seem to work. So let's see if I maybe do to JSON, or is there such a function? Let's see, we have JSON, no, find one, no. I want to, on the document I found, I want to run, I want to have only information that is inside the document. So I want to have only fields, and I don't need this weird extra information. I think there's a function called len that we can use on both of those. So let's see if I refresh, and now we get 500 error. So not this way. Let's try doing this here. So let's do .len and here .len. Yeah, so let's save, let's do refresh, loading, and now it works. So let's do it here, and we have email, and we have well, I think we have everything, but I don't see my phone number. Let's see if updating works. So I'm going to put phone number 1234. Let's save. Looks like it worked. but if I refresh and I fetch my profile, I don't see my phone number. So let's try again. Let's try to update. Let's see if it's send, save, and we get true from this request. So looks like everything worked, but I know what's the problem. We are updating one row inside user info, but we don't have it yet. There's no such user info that we can update. There's no such user with this user info with this email that we are logged in with. But there's something else we can use here instead, and it's called find one and update. Okay, and here we have a first filter, that what we want to update, but there are also options here, query options, as you can see. And I think that inside those options we have a flag called upsert that we can set to true. And this upsert to true means that if we don't find user info with this email and we cannot update with this data, it will first create this user info with this email, and then it will also update with this information here. So now let's try. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do save, and well, let's see here. I'm going to refresh. Let's see if we have anything inside our user infos. Well, now we have 2 user infos, so that is not good. We have user infos here and user infos here, and user infos, that's not good that we have 2 of those. I'm going to delete both of them, and I think I will delete this one as well, and let's see how it will be created again. So I'm going to save it again, and let's refresh our database, and let's see what will be created with lowercase I. Okay, so it created user infos for me with admin false, and but no phone number. So we are doing this put request with this well, let's see, if I click save here, we are doing put request with the payload name and image, but we are not sending the phone. Let's see why. Let's go to our profile page. Let's go profile page, and let's see, handle profile info update. So looks like we just send everything inside the body. We're sending name, image, phone, and everything. So if I add 6 here, let's clear here. We have phone number, and let's click save. We have this put request. Okay, now we are sending phone, and let's see our database. Let's refresh here. User infos, we have an email, but we don't have any phone. Right, let's go to our user info model, and let's see. So we have email, street, postal. Okay, we don't have any phone. Let's see if it is inside user. Yes, it is. We need to cut it from here, and we need to put it to our user info schema. So let's put it here, and let's restart our environment here. So now let's try to save it once again with this saving saved. Now let's refresh here, and let's see user infos. We have an email, we have an admin, but we don't have any phone. Let's see, hasn't been saved or sent. Let's see, let's open here. I'm going to clean everything. Let's hit save once again. Put request, payload. We don't have any phone number here. Let's change something and then hit save. And now we have phone. Okay, now let's do refresh, user infos, and we have our phone. So that is nice. So now if I refresh, it should work to grab my phone. Yes, it's okay. It works. And now I can edit this user info here, and I can change this admin to true. So if I refresh my page here, I should have more tabs. And yes, I do. So this works. Now let me go back to my categories page, and here, as you can see, we are fetching if it's an admin or not, and then if it's not an admin, we do this not an admin. So if I go to categories, on the beginning it shows not an admin. If I refresh, because it's still loading. I want to have state for this loading phase. So let's do admin info loading and set admin info loading. Use state, default will be false. And here let's do first set admin info loading to true. And then let's do set admin info loading to false. And here we will do admin info loading. If it's true, then we will do return loading info ... something like this. And now let's see if I refresh. Loading info, and then we see loading info. First we will have not an admin, but then we will see loading info, and then we see everything. Maybe we can set this as a default to true, and then if I refresh, it will be loading info, and then we will see all of the tabs here because we are an admin. We can change it to loading user info, and this works nice. So as you can see now, we have all of this code from line 6 to 24 to check if it's admin or not, just for this page. And because we will not use it only for categories, but we will use it also for menu items and users, I want to put this into a separate file. So I would like to have a hook like use state, but only for fetching user information, the same that we have use session. So let me create my custom hook for this, and I will just put it inside components, and I'm going to call it well, let's call it maybe just use, and I will call it use profile.js. And now here let's put export default function use profile, and here inside I'm going to not put phone number. I'm going to grab my use effect and admin info loading. I'm going to copy this from here, and I'm going to put it here. And now I will do something like this. Instead of doing admin info loading and set admin info loading, I will call this loading and set loading. I need to change it here as well. Set loading, and here set loading. All right, set loading. All right, and here we have the set is admin. Maybe instead of just grabbing is admin to a separate state constant, we will just have data. Let's do data and set data, and we will just put everything into our data. So let's do set data and data from our profile. All right, and inside data we will have if it's admin or not. So here let's just return loading, and let's return data. All right, so now we can use this as a hook. So let's go to categories page, and let's get rid of all of this. And now let's do use profile. I think it was use profile. Let's go back here. Yes, it's use profile, export default function use profile. Maybe let's call it not default, so it will be easier to import. Let's go here, use profile. I cannot grab it. Let's see why. Export function use profile. This should work, but looks like it doesn't. Use profile. Let's try to import it here. Use profile. Let's import it maybe here manually. Import use profile from components use profile. All right, and now const, as you remember, we are exporting, or we are returning loading and data from use profile. All right, so now let's see. This should be capital U, either capital U, but I think it should be better with using small u for this type of hooks, because everywhere is small u. So let's change this function name to small u like this, and now we have it working. Let's see what's here. Here we have loading and data. We can rename those two to, let's say, profile loading, and here we will have use profile data. And now we can do something like this. If profile loading, then return loading user info ... Yeah, and now if I refresh loading user info, yes, this looks really nice, and then we know we are an admin. But we don't know yet. Let's just check it. Profile data. Let's check admin, if it's true or not. If it's false, let's do return not an admin. All right, and we have much simpler code, as you can see now. Let's see if it works. Yes, it works. All right, so now let's focus on our categories page for admin. So we have profile here, we have categories here, and what do we want to have inside categories? Well, as you can see on our homepage here, we have only one category now, and this is pizzas. So let's do something similar. Let's go to categories, and let's have a form for categories so we can add and remove categories. So first we need a form to create categories, right? So we can have something like category name and maybe a picture if we want to. So first let's create a form for creating new categories. Let's do form, and here let's do an input, and let's do a label, and label will say category name. Let's say new category name, and let's save. Let's see, new category name. Yeah, maybe we can add some spacing here. So let's add a class name margin top of 8. So we will have something like this. It's much wider than the profile. So let's do medium maybe here. Let's see. Yeah, I think medium is better. So we have new category name, and then we have this input, but I would like to have a button on the right side. So I'm going to do something like this. Let's do div with class name flex, and I will have two divs, the left and the right side. For the left side, let's put this, and for the right side, let's put a button of type submit, and it will say add or maybe create. Yeah, so now we have something like this, but we will fix it a little bit. We need to add gap of 2 and items end, so it will be aligned to the bottom. So now we have something like this. Well, almost what I wanted. One thing I want to add will be padding on the bottom of this div. So let's do a padding bottom of 2, and now it's almost aligned. So I would say this will work. On the first div on the left side, I want this to grow. So I want to take it should take all of the width. All right, so this will work, except that this button is 2 pixels smaller because it doesn't have this border that inputs have. So I'm going to add some classes here to our button. Let's do class name, let's do border and border primary. So now it should be a little bit bigger. Let's see if it is button. Let's see, now it doesn't get any border, but it should. Let's see why it doesn't. Border, okay, we are setting border width to 0 on the type submit. Let's go to globals and let's fix it. Here we have border 0. Maybe instead of border 0, let's do border transparent. No, it will not do anything. Let's do, instead of border 0, let's do border primary here. Okay, and now as you can see, it's 2 pixels bigger, so it's more like in line with this input. And now underneath, I would like to have existing categories, but we don't have any categories yet. So now let's first fix so we can create a category like pizzas, something like this. So let's fix so we can create categories, right? Let's go to categories page. We have this input, but we don't have any state for it. So let's do this. Let's create a state called maybe new category name. And so here new set new category name equals use state, and default will be empty string. And now let me see here, for this input, we will have value new category name, and we also need to have our on change, and we will have event set new category name event target value. This should work. So now we should be able to put stuff here. All right. So now we need to have on our form for new categories, we need to have on submit, and let's create a function called, maybe, how can we call it? Handle new category. Yeah, handle new category submit. Handle new category submit. Now let's create this one function, handle new category submit. Yes, we will get an event as always, and we need to run prevent default because it's a form and we don't want to submit this with regular HTML forms functionality. Right. So instead, what do we want to do? We want to send it with a post request somewhere. So let's go to maybe API/categories, or how can we call it? Let's see. We have, let's do categories. To /API/categories, and we want to send only name of the category. So let's send name as new. Let's send new category name as name. All right. And we don't put it like this as we do with Axios. Instead, let me cut it from here and we send it as body. And here we need to do JSON stringify. And inside, let's put this as an object like this. We also need to have method of post, and then we also need to have headers, I guess. So let's do headers, and I want to send the header of content type, and it will be application JSON. This should work. Now this is fetch. Let's grab response of this fetch and let's add async. And now we get response, and maybe we can check if the response is okay. Or maybe we can add a toast, so we will see if it worked or not. Let's create a promise out of it. Const, and let's call this one maybe creation promise equals new promise, resolve and reject, arrow function, and now let's put this thing inside, and we need to add a wait here to our arrow function, async I mean, and now let's do something like this. If response okay, then we will do resolve, otherwise we will do reject. All right, so this should work, but here instead of this we should do if response okay, then resolve, and if it's not else, then reject. Yeah, this should work, and we have our creation promise. So now we can do toast from React Hot Toast, and let's do promise, and our promise is creation promise. And now we can add more stuff, like let's add a wait here, and here we will have waiting, I think. No, it was loading. It will say, let's have a message saying creating your new category ... If it's success, it will say, well, category created, and if it's error, it will say error, sorry, something like this. So now it will say error because we don't have this endpoint yet, but let's try it. Let's do test, create error, sorry, create error, sorry. That is a really cool test, error, sorry. All right, so let's create an endpoint for this. Let's go here, API, and let's create categories, directory, categories. And inside categories, we need a route. So let's do route.js. And here first, we need to do export function post, because we are going to post a new category. We will need our data, and we will need to have JSON from our request. So let's do data equals await request JSON, and we need to add async here. And now let's see, we have data, so now we can grab the name. Let's maybe grab from here, not all the data, let's grab only name, and now we can create a category. We should probably also check here if it's an admin or not, but we will do this in a moment. First, let's just create a category. So we need a model for this. Here we have models. Let's do new file and let's call this one category.js. First, we need a schema. So let's do category schema equals new schema from Mongoose, and well, inside I want to have here timestamps, of course, timestamps to true, and here I want to have name that will be string, and well, let's put this like this, type string, and we will do also required to true. Right, so now we can create the model. So let's do category equals, and let's add export here as well. Category equals, first we need to always check for existing models. Let's check for category. Otherwise, let's do a new model with our category as a name and category schema as our schema. Right, now let's go back to categories route and let's see. I'm going to import this category. Let's do create, and let's create with only this name. We will add a weight here, and let's assign this to constant so we can maybe return it if we want. Let's do a category document. Yeah, we can call it category or just category document, and we want to respond with it. So let's do return response JSON and category document, and this should work. Now let's try to create test category. Let's hit create, but first I will do inspect and network. Let's do create post 200, and the preview, as you can see, we get a new document from the database. We get our newly created category with name test, we have ID, and we have everything. Right, so this worked, and it's nice that we can actually create categories. But now here underneath, I would like to have here a list of my categories, right? So, well, let's go back to our categories page, and well, let's see, underneath here, under this form, I want to have a list of categories. Let's maybe put this as I don't know, as a div with or maybe not div. Let's put it as a UL with LIs inside. So first I need to grab all of the categories from somewhere. So how can we do this? We need to have a use effect for this. So when our page loads, it will run Axios, or not Axios, sorry, fetch to fetch all of the categories. For now, as you can see, we don't have any dependencies, or not for now, because we want to run this function here inside when our page loads. So first let's do fetch, and let's say it will go to /API/categories. We don't have this endpoint yet, so let's go to categories route inside API, and let's do export async function get. And basically we want inside this get to return all of the categories from the database. So let's do just return response JSON, and here we will do await, and we will do category, and we want to find all. So let's do just find, and this should work. Now let's go back here, and well, we fetch all the categories. Let's do then with the response, we will do arrow function. Then from the response, we want to convert to a JSON. So let's do response JSON then, and then we'll have all of categories here, categories as a response. It will be an array of categories. So with those categories, we want to set them to a state. So let's do here const category, not category, categories, and set categories. Use state default will be empty array, and here we want to do set categories to categories like this. All right, so now this should work. And now if I go down here where we have this UL, I want to do do something like this. Maybe instead of UL, I will do just div. Here I will check if we have categories. If we have categories length that is bigger than 0, let's do end. Let's do categories map, and we want to do with each category, let's call it just C, so it will be shorter to write. With each category, I'm going to put a div, and I want to put category name here. So here we have test because we have one category that is called test. Well, but now I would like to have it as a nice looking list or something like this. So, well, how can we do this? Maybe we can have something like this. Let's put this div like this, and we will have two spans inside. First will be edit category, and here we will have another span with the category name inside. And now we will do something like this. On this div, I want this div to be kind of button. Let's see what happens if I put button here. Nothing happens. We don't have styling for this. But I will do something like this. I want this to be background gray 300, maybe lighter, let's do 200. And I want to do here also rounded of large, something like this. And I want to add a padding of 4. Maybe 4 is too much. Let's do 2. And well, what else can we want? Do we want to do? Let's see how it looks like. Edit category. The padding on the sides should be bigger. Let's do px4. Yeah, this looks nice. Maybe we want to have also some spacing here. I'm going to put here flex and gap of 2. Let's see. Yeah, edit category test. Maybe let's just do only gap of 1. All right, this looks fine. For the first span, I'll make it more like transparent. So let's do text gray. Let's make it text gray 500, and we have something like this. Now on the div, I will make it also cursor pointer, so it will look like we can click this one. And well, maybe I will also do the rounded corners should be bigger. So let's see, rounded large. Well, I don't know, rounded XL. Let's do XL. And now let's do maybe not edit category. Instead, I would just have I would like to have something that will maybe a label here above that will say, or a title. Let's put a H2 title above that will say edit category colon. Let's see. Yeah, I think it looks fine. Let's add some class names like margin top of 8. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah, and well, I think this works fine. I will just get rid of this span, and yeah, I think this looks fine. Maybe I would like to do the same styling as we have here. So on this one, let's add the text SM, and I want to do text gray 500. Now let's see, edit category, and I can click on this one. All right, so I cannot edit yet because if I click, nothing happens. But what I want to do is first to maybe change it to a button. Yeah, so now we have something like this with a border, and I'm going to also add some margin bottom on this button, margin bottom of at least 2 in case we'll have later more categories. What's more is I want to add another category, create another category like test2. But before I will do this, here we have this create button. Let's see, when I create a new category, I want to refresh this list. And this list is fetched only when we load the page. So to fix it, first I'm going to grab it. I'm going to put it into a new function called fetch categories. And let's put it here. And now inside here, let's do fetch categories as it was. But when we create here, handle new category submit, here we are fetching all of this. Let's also run our fetch categories function. All right, and now let's see if I do test2, click create, category created, and as you can see, we have test2 here. This should be also cleared. So let's also add here set new category name to empty string. And now let's see if I do test3 create, and it's created. So this is nice. All right, so this looks fine. Maybe we can decrease the padding, the spacing here between. So let's see, we have button, margin bottom, let's do only one. Yeah, and I think this will work fine. Edit category, and those are buttons, but they don't do anything. What I want to do is I want to do that when you click on this, for example, the title will go here and we will edit. This will change to edit. All right, so how can we do this? When we click on a button on this one, test3, we want to inform our state that we are now editing this test3 category. So I will create a state for this, and it will be called well, we can call it active category or edited category. Set edited category, and default will be null. And if it's null, if edited category is a null, then we know it's a new category that we are creating. All right, so if I click on this one, test3, for example, let me fix this functionality. I will put the class names here. Here I will add on click. We want to do, let's put arrow function here, and let's do set edited category to our C, so our current category inside the loop. So now if I do click here, we informed our state that this edited category will have an object of C, so our document of this specific category. So now we can use this to change some stuff inside this form. So for example, we can do something like this. We have this button here saying create. We can do something like this, edited category. If we have something inside, it will say update. Otherwise, update. Otherwise, it will say create. And we have here label new category name. We will also have here something like if we have edited category, then it will say update category. Otherwise, it will say create new category, or maybe new category name. Sorry. Let's grab this from here. Let's do colon like this. Update category. Maybe let's put this into separate line. This label should go here. So if we have edited category, maybe we should call it category, editing category. I don't know. Then it will say update category. Otherwise, new category to update. So if I refresh, we have new category name and create. If I click, we'll have update category and update. Here I will also add, if we have edited category and only, I will add here colon, and I will print edited category name. So we have something like this, update category test3. I will add here a space as well, update category test3. Maybe I can add bold here. Let's see. Update category test3, and I would like to have this test3 field here inside this input. So to fill this input is actually our this input is actually our new category name. And because this can be either new category name or existing category name, I'm going to change this state name to just category name. So let's do category name, and here I will do set category name, and we need to change it here above as well. So let's do category name and set category name, and we are using this later when we update stuff. So let's do here category name, and here let's do set category name. Right, so now let's see, if I clicked on test3, we have this test3 here, but still nothing here. And this is because here we have our button. On click, we are doing, we set this edited category, but something more I would like to do is to do this, but also I would like to do another thing. I want to do set category name to category name, right? So now let's refresh. If I click update category test3, and we have this test3 here, and we have our update button. But now when we click this update button, it will submit our form. And as you can see, the name of the function is handle new category submit. Let's rename this to handle category submit. And let's do the same here, handle category submit. Now the problem is when we do this, it always sends a post request to our API categories, and this will always create a new category. It doesn't have functionality to actually update the category. So how can we know, how can we change it? If we have something inside edited category, we know it's an update. So let's do here, if edited category, then we will do put, otherwise we will do post, right? And if we are updating, we are sending this new name, but we need to also send ID to this JSON as well. So how can we do this? Well, to do this first, I'm going to grab this and I will put it as a data somewhere above. Let's call this one data and let's define it here. Data equals this. And here I will also add, if it's edited category, then to the data, I want to add ID to be equal from edited category underscore ID. Or maybe let's call it underscore ID to make it same as we have it in the database. And this way, if it's a new category, we'll have only this data and not ID. If we're updating a category, this will be an object and we will get also ID into our data. We will send with put request. We don't have any put functionality inside this endpoint, so let's fix it. Inside our categories route, we have post, but we don't have any put yet. So let me do export async function put, and we want to grab our request and we want to grab all of the data. So let's do data equals await request JSON. And now maybe instead of data, we can directly grab our underscore ID and the name. And now we can do something like this. We want to do await category update one. We want to update one by this underscore ID, and we want to update only our name, right? And then we can do return response JSON true to just inform that we are okay. All right, so here, let's see, we get a response, and if everything is okay, we are setting this category name to empty, and well, then we do this fetch categories to refetch all of the categories. Then we do resolve or reject on the promise. But then we have this toast, as you can see here, and it always says creating new category created. Here I would like to do, if it's an update, then if it's an update, then we know we have an object here, so it's not an empty state, and we can change here message, right? So let's do something like this. If edited category, then something, otherwise creating new category. If edited category, let's maybe put this like this. If edited category, I'm going to say, when it's loading, updating category dot, and let's do maybe similar thing here. If we have edited category, then let's do something, otherwise something else. Maybe let's put it back as like this. No, let's put it into several lines. Here on success, category updated. And yeah, now let's try to update this. Let's do refresh. let's update test3. Let's change the name to test3.1. Let's hit update, category updated, and we have this test3.1. It still says update category 3, test3, because we forgot to actually here reset our edited category back to null. So let's do this. Let's refresh. Let's do test3.1. Let's do rename it to test3.2.1. Let's hit update and category updated. It's refreshed here and this is empty, so we can create new categories. Right, so now we can create categories. Let's maybe create another one like test4. Let's hit create. We have it here. We can edit this one to test4_2 and it works. We don't have any images for categories, but for now we don't need this. We have categories here and we can edit and delete them and stuff like this. Now it would be nice to have same functionality actually for our menu items. For now it's 4.4, but we need to have similar functionality for menu items. So let's create a page for this and let's close API, and inside app, let's do new directory and let's call it maybe just, let's do menu items. Yeah, menu items, and inside we need to do page.js and export default function menu items page. Yes, and here I'm going to return. I want to return a section. That will have a class name of margin top of 8, so we'll have some spacing, and here inside I want to have our user tabs. But all of this, let me see if this will work. Yeah, it kind of works, but the problem is we are not sending this is admin. Let's send it to true. But first we need to check that we are actually an admin, the same way we did it with our categories. As you remember, we can grab loading and data from what was it called? It was called use profile. Yes, and here we can do something like this. If loading, we can do then return loading user info ... and here we can do something like this. If data admin is not is false, then we'll do return not an admin, and we will not display all of this. Now let's see, we need to make it client components, so let's do use client. Yes, and loading user info, categories, profile, categories, menu items. Yes, I think it works fine. We have this loading user info wherever we click. Maybe later we can fix that something in the middle shows and not on the top left corner, but it works for now. All right, so we have menu items and we know that we are actually an admin, logged in admin here. So what do we want to do now? We want to have something similar to categories, right? So we want to have a way of creating a new menu item and then editing. We want to edit menu items. So let's do a similar form first, so we can create our first menu item. So let's do like this form. Let's add class name, and let's do margin top of 8. And inside we will need div flex with some gap of, let's do 2. Inside we will have left and right side, because on the left we will have an input with a label of, this label will say menu item name, and on the right side we will have a button that will be type of submit, and it will say maybe save, or it will say on the beginning create, so we can create a new stuff here. All right, so here first things first, for this form here, we want to do max width of XL, or I don't know, medium, and MX auto. So it will be centered like this. Yes, let's see how it looks like here. Yeah, I think this will work. Then the left side should grow. So let's do a class name grow. And here on the flex, I want to do items end. So it will be aligned to the bottom. I want to do on this button, I want to add the class names to make it margin bottom 2. So it will be more in the line with the input, and I think this looks nice. But here we will need menu item name, and we will also need a picture, right? So we need to have both photo of a pizza, for example, and we also need to have a name, and then pricing and more stuff. So we will have description, we will have price, we will have properties. So maybe we will not have it as a simple form like this, like we have on the categories, but we will actually need to have something more complicated. Like here when we click menu items, first we will have, do you want to create a new, or do you want to update an existing? But first let's do a form so we can create one, right? So we will need let's see, image, we will need the title or name, description, and then a price, and then maybe some extra stuff for sizings and extras if we want to. But let's first focus on the title, image, description, and price. So we need to have a title, and description, image, and price. So I think we can do a similar layout that we have here with the profile. So let's do something like this. We have, instead of having this button create here, I'm going to get rid of it, and we don't need this div, we don't need this div, or maybe actually we need, yeah, but on the left side we'll have an image that will not be here yet. And here items, let's do items start, so it will be aligned to the top. We want to have more gaps, so let's do gap 4, and on the left we will have an upload for a photo, right? All right, so menu item name, let's do just the item name. Then I want to have more like stuff, description, price. So let's do here and description, and here we will have price, item name, description, and here I will do maybe base price, because later I'm going to add also functionality, so we can have different sizes of pizzas, or maybe some extras too. So this is base price. And well, so we have a form here. We will also need a button to actually save it. So let's do a button of type submit, and it will say save for now. Yeah, this should work. And on the left now we need to have the same upload functionality that we have here on the profile page. So how can we do this? I would like to copy some things because we will update to the same bucket, and we will do very similar things there. So let's go to our profile page, and let's see, we have this huge function called handle file change. As you can see, it's this big, and well, I would like to put it somewhere else, so we can just have this input type file. So let me go back to the profile, yes, here, and now I want to put this handle file change somewhere else. So I'm going to copy this, let's copy, and let's see where we can put it. We don't want to put it inside any app, we want to put it somewhere else. We can put it inside the components, but maybe it's better to put it inside libs. So let's do a new file inside libs, and let's call this one upload, or maybe we can put it actually inside the components, and we will create a nice looking component for this. So avatar and a button. So let's do component. Inside components, I will do image input, or how can we call it? Editable image. Let's do editable image. Maybe we can put it inside layout. I don't know. Yeah, let's put it inside layout. Layout, let's do new, and let's do editable image.js, and here let's do export default function editable image. All right, and we want to have here properties of a link, and we want to also have a function to inform when we set a new link. So let's do link and set link. And now I'm going to paste this function here that is super long, handle file change, as you can see. And then here underneath, I'm going to return something similar to this. So let's go back to the profile and let me grab all of this. I want to grab the image, and I want to grab the image and this label with the input. So I will copy this. I will go back to editable image. I will put React fragment because we have several HTML elements here. And now we can see if we have an image, then we are printing this. Instead of image, I'm going to use this link. If we have a link, we display this image with this link, and then we have a label so we can do handle file change. So this is the function we are running, and now instead of doing set image, I'm going to do set link, right? And this should work now. Now we can go back to profile page. And now we don't need all of this. Instead, we are going to put here an editable image like this. And let's see if it works. No, it doesn't, because we don't send any link. Our link is actually image, and our set link will be set image. So our component editable image can inform our component, this component, our page about new uploaded image, the link to the new uploaded image. We don't need this upload function anymore. As you can see, it's with a gray name, so it's not used anywhere. And now our file will be a little bit shorter. But what's most important, let me also check if it still works. I'm going to change this to my new photo here. Let's do open here, and uploading. This works nice. And I will put here country as well, Sweden. Let's hit save. Saving, profile saved. This works really nice. Let's do refresh. Everything is saved, so that's nice. Let's go back to menu items, and here we have placeholder for image. Let's go menu items page, and here let's just put our editable image. Simple as that. Editable image, and we don't have any link for this or set link, but we'll create state for it. So let's do const image set image equals use state, not use session, use state, and default will be empty string. We don't need this import for use session. And now here the link will be image, and here set link will be set image. Right, so now we can click edit here. Would be nice to know that we don't have an image here. So let's go here inside this component, and here we can do something like this. If no link, let's do end, and let's do a div with class names, some class names, and inside we'll have a text no image and sad face, or maybe just no image. And I want to add like a background gray of 200. Let's see how this will look like. Yeah, maybe let's add some padding of 4 on all of the sides. Yes, and the text should be grayish. Let's do text gray 500, and I want to do rounded corners of LG large, right? And also margin bottom of 1. the same as we have with the image. Right, and now I should be able to put some image here. So let's try with this one, uploading. Yeah, that looks nice. And upload complete, and it looks fine. Maybe it's a little too big, so I will go back to here, menu items page, and on this div I will do max width of 200 pixels. So we will have something like this. Yeah, I think this looks good enough. Maybe we could also try to change this to a grid instead, grid, and here let's do grid calls, and can we do 1/3, something like this? No, this will not work, but let's see, 1/3 FR, can we do like this? No. Let's add here maybe something instead. So I'm going to remove this, and instead for our grid I'm going to add a style, and I will do grid template columns, and I will do something like 0.3 FR and 0.7 FR. Let's put class names here and style here below, and now as you can see we have 30 and 70%. You should probably do the same thing for profile, but well, I don't think it's that important. The text here should be centered, so let's go back here and let's see, no image, let's put text center. Okay, and this looks fine. Let's do refresh, edit, let's upload this photo. Yeah, it looks nice. Uploading, and upload complete. Yeah, this looks nice. So we can upload the image, we can put some stuff here, test, and let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then we can save a menu item. So now let's maybe fix so we can actually save a menu item. Menu items page, and here we have buttons with submit. What else do we want to do? On this form we want to add on submit, and let's call our function handle form submit. Simple as that. Yeah, and let's define it maybe here, function, and it will be of course async function handle form submit. As always, we get an event here that we need to block with prevent default. And now what do we want to do? We prevent default of this form sending. Now we want to grab the image and we want to grab the info of all of our inputs. But hey, we don't have state for the inputs yet. So let's do state. Let's do const. We will need name. We will need also description, and we will also need the base price. And this should work. Now we need to fix our inputs. So I will do on all of those something like this. First, I will put type here, and I will do value, and on change we will do event, and then we will do some stuff called, for example, let's maybe fix first for one, or let's put everything same thing for every input. So here I will do name, and here I will do set name, and it will be event target value. And now let's we will have same thing for all of those. We need to fix it. So here I will do description, and here I will do set description, and here I will have base price, and here I will do set base price. All right, so we have a name like I don't know, pizza 1, and description will be, I don't know, and base price will be $10. Then we can hit save, and our form will submit, and this function will run. So when we run this, we want to do a fetch function, run a fetch and point with API. Let's do maybe menu items, and here I want to do a method of post for now, because we are posting a new menu item. We want to send body, and body will be JSON stringify. We want to do here, we want to send everything that we have inside the state. So let's do image, name, description, and base price. Yeah, or all of it. Maybe we can put this data somewhere here above. Const data equals this, and we can put it in one line. So stringify data, right? And we need to put headers. We need to have a content type application JSON, right? And we can add a weight here. Const response equals this. And I would like to add again toaster React Hot Toast for this. So I'm going to create a new promise. Saving promise equals new promise, response reject, and I'm going to put this inside, and then I need to make this one async. And now I will do something like this. If a response is okay, then I will do, I don't need those. I will do resolve, and else if the response is not okay, I will do reject. All right, and now here I will do await toast from React Hot Toast and promise, and here I put my saving promise, and here for the options I will do first for loading, it will say saving this tasty item, and for success it will say saved, and for error it will say error. Yeah, simple as that. So now it should throw an error because we don't have menu items endpoint yet. So if I click save, saving error. All right, so now we need to fix this endpoint. Let's go to our app API, and now we need menu items directory, menu items, and inside we need a route. So let's do a new file and let's do route.js, and we need export async function called post, and we will have request stuff here. First, let's grab data from request JSON, and of course we need to add a weight here because it's a stream. And now if we have a data, what do we want to do? We want to create a new, we want to put it into database, into menu items. So let's create a model for this. Models, new file, menu item.js. So let's do first menu item schema equals new schema. Yes, from Mongoose, and I want to have as always timestamps to true. So I will have some extra data. But now inside our menu item schema, I want to have those free stuff and image. So let's do something like this. First image, it will be type string, and I think I would just copy this, and I'm going to put like name and the description, and the last one will be base price. Base price will be actually number. All right, so that's it. And now we can create a model. So let's do export const menu item equals models first. Let's check for models, menu item. Otherwise, let's do new model function and menu item with our menu item schema. All right, because base price is a number, I'm not sure if we need to convert it, but let's see if this will work. Let's go to menu items route inside the API. Let's try to create our menu item. Let's import this one. Let's hit create with our data, and we need to add a weight, and let's assign the result to menu item document, and then let's return response JSON with this menu item doc so we can see if it worked. One thing I forgot about is to connect to our database. So let's do mongoose connect, and here process.env.mongo URL. Yeah, I forgot about this. Probably I forgot also about this somewhere else. Let's see. Probably also inside the categories. Yes, I need to put this here and inside all of those. So let's put it here, here, and here. Let's see profile. Profile looks fine. I think the rest is fine. Let's go back to menu items, and this should work now. So let's go back to our menu items page here, and maybe we can now try to save all of this. So let's pick an image, and now it's uploading. I'm going to open here my network tab to see what's here inside. Here I will put description, base price 10, let's hit save, post 200, and as you can see, base price 10, description, desk, name pizza 1, and even the image is here, so everything seems to work. It just worked. So now we can actually create new menu items. So the next thing will be actually so we can list them somewhere, and when we enter this page, let's go back to categories. When we go to menu items, first maybe we should see a list of all menu items, and this form should be actually somewhere else, like /menu items /new or something like this. So yeah, this is what we need to do next. So let's do this. First, I'm going to create a page for this. Menu items, let's do new category, a new directory inside called new, and inside let's do new file called, well, it's not inside API. Let's remove it from here, and I want to do this inside menu items inside app. So let's do new directory, new, and inside we want to do page.js, and now let's do export default function, new category, not new category, new menu item page, yes. And well, first we need to check for the profile, right? Const, and let's grab loading and data from use profile, and then if loading, it will say return loading user info ... and then we want to check if it's not an admin. If not data admin, then we want to do return not an admin ... no dots. All right, and then we know it's an admin, so we can do return, and we can here return this this form, right? So let's move this form from there. So let's go menu items page, and I think we just need to move all of this section. Let's cut it, and here I'm going to put just a div for now. It will say menu items, and I will move this to here on my section, but now we need to move all the functionality as well. So I'm going to cut all of this from menu items page, and I'm going to put it into here. So let's put this here, and now we have two loading and data. We don't need two of those. This works now. Yes, I think it does. We need to have also here our loading and data from use profile, but we have a lot of imports that we don't need here. So this is our simple menu items page. We need to make it more advanced now. So let's add a section with class name is margin top of A, and now here we need to have those user tabs with is admin being true. Right, we have new item, menu items. Here I want to have a link to /menu items /new. So it will say create a new menu item, something like this. Yeah, but this should be more like centered or something like this. So let's do max width on the section of medium, and let's do MX auto. And now let's see, yeah, something like this. For this link, I want to put it inside the div with some margin on the top, so we can have some styling, some spacing. Now for this link, I'm going to put this into like this, and I'm going to add some class names on this link to make it more like a button. Let's see, create new menu item. I'm going also to, we can click it, but well, I would like to have more styling like this one. So let me see, maybe instead of having this class, I'm going to do background gray or maybe let's go to our globals and let's fix class for this. So we have button. Let's also have a class name that's called button. Now let's go back here. Let's put back our button. And now we have something like this. I think it looks fine. Those don't look that fine. I think I would prefer them to be white, same way we have it here. But that's not that big of an issue. We have this link. It's a button. Well, maybe we can make it centered, or maybe we can add an icon here. So I would like to have this right icon. We created this before, so we have something like this now. I will add a flex here. So maybe it will be next to each other, but no, maybe because I need to add a span, and let's put this text inside. No, this didn't help. Let's see why. Inspect, and let's see button flex, but it's display block. Let's change it inside globals from block to flex, and now it's better. Now I'm going to also add justify center, and now it's more centered. And now I'm going also to add a gap of at least 2. Yeah, and I think this looks nice. Let's see if we have destroyed something else. Now everything looks fine. Let's go back to menu items, and now I can click here, create new menu item, and now we have an error. Let's see. You are importing blah blah blah. I think it's about this use client that we miss inside menu items. New menu item page. On the top we need to have use client, and now let's see. Now it looks fine. Now here on the top, it would be nice to have a function like a button go to all menu items. So here I would like to have maybe here under the tabs, I will have a div with a link that will go to /menu items, and this link will show and this link will say, we'll have a span, go to, or maybe show all menu items, or maybe go back. I don't know. Well, this should work. I will add here some class name of a button, and I need to add some styling on this div above. So let's do max width of medium, and MX auto, and margin top of 8. And let's also add this right arrow, right. Yeah, and this should work. Maybe we should have an arrow to the left. I don't know. Let's go to this right arrow and let's see. Yeah, I will create an arrow to the left. So let's call it left.js. And I'm creating this inside this icons directory, as you can see. I'm going just to copy paste all of it into this left. I will just rename it to left, and I need to replace this SVG, right? So let's go to hero icons. Let's search for left, and let's copy this and let's put it here. And as you remember, we want to replace those class names with class names that we get as property. Now let's go back to new page, and instead of this right, I'm going to add here left arrow here. So now let's see how it looks like, and show all menu items. I think it works nice. Yeah, and now if we can go create new menu item, or we can go back. When we create a new menu item and we have this form, we are on the page menu items /new. This one is not red anymore. So let's fix it. Let's go to user tabs, and here we have something like this. If path is menu items, but it can be either menu items or menu items new. So how can we fix it? We can do something like this. We can do path test, or not test. It should be first, should we have a menu item, and then we do a test, and we test it against our path. And now let's see. Now it's red because it includes menu items. We can also do it another way. We can do something like this. Path includes menu items, and this works too. Or you can do regexes. So even if you go back, it's red. Right. So here we can create a new menu item. Let's see, new page, and if it's done, then it shows this saved, and maybe then we should redirect this. No, we don't need to do anything. I'm going just to reset everything here. So let's reset this to set name to empty string. Let's do set image to empty string. Well, let's see, if we save it, what do we want to do? Maybe we want to go to the list instead. So to redirect, I will do something like this. Redirect, and let's go to /menu items. Yeah, and let's hit return here. Just, I don't know, we probably don't need this. Let's see if this will work. So let's create a new, I'm going to use this image, and let's put this as pizza 2, description desk, base price 12. Let's hit save, and let's see what happened. We get an error, and I think the error is about next redirect, and we cannot use redirect inside functions like this. So to fix it, I will create a state, and this state will be called redirect to items, and set redirect to items. Default state will be false, but here where we want to do redirect, I will do set redirect to items to true. And now here I will do if redirect to items, if it's true, then I will do return and redirect to /menu items like this. So now let's clear this, and let's see if this works. Let's do a pizza 3, I think. Let's upload some image. Let's maybe put an image of me. Why not? Let's put description here, base price of 14. Let's hit save. And as you can see, we have been redirected to the menu items page. So that is nice. Now it would be nice to, on this menu items page, to list everything, to list all of the menu items so we can edit them, right? So to list them, we need to have a use effect here, use effect from React. Let's do arrow function, no dependencies, so empty array here. And here, let's do no accessory, fetch, and let's do /API /menu items. And this will be a get request, so we don't need to define our method to be get, because get is default. And we don't need any extra options here. Instead, we can do just that, then response, and with the response we can do response to JSON, and then we will do we will have actually our menu items here that we can save into state. We don't have a state for this yet, but I'm going to create it. So let's do menu items set menu items equals use state, and default will be an empty array here. Here let's do set menu items to menu items that we get from here, from the JSON, and this should work, but we don't have this get endpoint for menu items yet. So let's go to API menu items route, and let's fix our get. So let's do export async function get, and first we need to connect to the database, and then we can do return response JSON with all of the menu items. So here we just need to do await and menu item and just find, because we want to find all of them. Let's do this, and this should work. Now let's go to menu items page, and let's see, this should probably work. We should have our menu items in this state here. So maybe here under this div, let's put another div, and here let's check it. If menu items length is bigger than 0, then let's do end, and let's do menu items map, and for each menu and for each item, let's call it item, we will do parentheses div, and let's do item.name, and let's see if we will have them here. No, this didn't work. Let's see why. I will refresh. Okay, now we see them. So now it works, and yeah. So now instead of div, I will put a button with 2 T's, and let's add some class names just in case. Let's see. Yeah, I want to add margin bottom of 2 or maybe 1, and here above I want to put an H2 saying edit menu item, and we will have some class names here like text small and text gray 500, and yeah, I want to have margin top here as well, margin top of 4, at least 4. Yeah, I think this will work. Let's see on the categories. Here we have much more spacing. Maybe let's do also like 8 here. So we will have more spacing. Edit menu item, pizza 1, pizza 2, pizza 3. Let's see categories. Yeah, I think this will work. I don't like that for categories. Those are gray. Let's go back to categories page and let's see why those are gray. We have this background gray 200 on those buttons. So let's remove it. And now those are white as well. All right, so this works nice. Now, instead of a button, I want to have a link for those categories. No, not here. Let's put it back to a button. I want to go to menu items page, and here for this button, I want to change this to a link, because I want to do that when you click on it, it will go to a specific page for this specific item, and it will show a form for this. We will not change anything inside this page on this state. We'll go to a separate page. I'm going to put here button class, so we will have our styling, and here on the ref we will go to menu items / edit / and then the ID of the item. So we'll do item ID like this. So now if I click on this one, it will go menu items / edit / then ID. It doesn't work yet, but well, we have it. We have links. Another thing that would be nice is actually to have images here, not only the titles, right? So let me maybe put an image here, image, and let's do source will be actually item image, and the here will be nothing. And now let's see if this will work. Now we need to have width and height. I think that instead of width and height, I will have this layout, and I don't remember what was the layout thing here. So I'm going to go to the hero layout fill. Okay, layout fill. Or actually I can do we need to have a div with relative here, and we need to put this image inside, and for this div we also need to have minimum width, and we need to have some width and height. So let's do width will be 24 and height will be 24. And now we have something like this. The problem is that those images will be stretched, so that's not good. Let's remove maybe this layout fill, and I'm going to add this width of 100 and height of 100 here instead. And I'm going to, let's maybe leave this div for now. Let's see how this looks like. I think it looks fine. Let's see how those are rendered, because as you can see, those are not 100 by 100. Rendered size 100 by 66. So here you just put maximum width and maximum height, and it just do the correct thing. All right, instead of having 1 by 1, I would like to have something else. So here we are looping through all of those links, but I will create a parent div that will be a grid with grid columns of 4. So we will have 4, oops, not from here. I want to grab all of the mapping. So we should have now 4 in one line. Maybe we can change it to free. Let's change it to free. And well, I will put, we don't need to have this one link to be flex. Or maybe I will let it be flex, but the direction will be column. So let's do flex column. Yes. So it will be not from left to right, but from top to bottom instead. Right, so we have something like this, and now maybe we can put here another div with something like text center to just center everything. Yeah, and now we have something like this. I want to have spacing between those, so let's add a gap of 2, and yeah, this looks fine. So we can edit those, but the links don't work yet, but we will fix it in a moment. The most important part is that we can edit those. Maybe we can change the styling, because those are not buttons anymore, and we should make those more like of a like this one, so more grayish background, and I think it would be much prettier to have it this way. So let's go to menu items, and instead of having this as a button, I want to change it to, well, let's say I'm going to put those class names here, so we'll have more space, and let's do something like background gray 300, and let's do rounded large, and I want to have a padding of 4. Yes, that's much nicer. Let's see here, maybe it's not 300, maybe it should be 200 or something like this. Let's do 200, and this looks nice. I'm going to change this to like 200 by 200, so the images will be bigger. And I want to do on the image, I want to add some class names as well, like rounded medium, so we'll have rounded corners here. This looks good enough, I think. Now we can work with it. Let's see. Yeah, I think this will be good. So we can click on those tiles, and we can later edit those menu items, and here we can create more menu items. So now let's fix that page for editing an existing menu item. Let's go here. Let's close API, or maybe let's start with API. Inside API, we have this menu items route, and we have a post for creating new, but we also need to have put for updating, right? So we connect first, then let's remove all of this connect, then we grab data from JSON. Instead of grabbing data like this, I'm going to first grab ID, and then I'm going to grab rest of the data. And here I'm going to do something like this. I want to update only using this underscore ID. So let's do await, and let's do a menu item, and I want to update, let's do this time update find by ID and update. I have ID here, and the data is here, and that's it. So I can do just return response JSON with true. And that's it, and we have an endpoint put for our menu items. Now let's create a page, so we don't have this for page. Let's close API, menu items, we have this new. Here let's do also edit, and inside we need to have a page.js. The content will be almost the same as we have on the new page here. So the form will be very similar. We will have all of the same inputs. So to not copy paste it, or maybe we can first copy paste it. Everything that is inside here, I'm going to copy, and I'm going to, from here, I'm going to put this here. But first let's put here export default function, edit menu item page, and let's paste everything here. Let's save. Now let's see what will happen. Let's do refresh, and this didn't work. This didn't work because it shouldn't be here, because it's not just /edit, it's /edit and then the ID. So we need to do a new directory here called the ID, like this, and then this page we need to put it inside here. Yeah, and now let's see if I refresh. I forgot to put on the top this use client, right? And now now we have this. We have save and we have all of this. And the problem now is that we are not fetching information first. So if I go here and I want to edit this one, I need to fetch the information about this menu item. So how can I do this? I need to add a use effect somewhere here, use effect, and then let's do arrow function here, and then no dependencies, and here let's do something like this, not Axios, sorry, again, fetch on API menu items, and this will return all of the menu items, but that's fine. I can just loop through them. And now let's do something like this. Then response, with the response I'm going to response JSON. Then with the all of the items I'm going to do something like this. I need to find a specific item of this ID. How can I do this? I can do this using this path name or using params that we have here. It's not params, I think it's called somewhere else. But let's try to do this. Const params equals use params. I think it's params. Yes, and now let's maybe first here do console log of our params to see if we will get our ID here. So we get an object and we have param ID. Right, so I'm only interested in this ID. So I'm going to fetch it like this. We have our ID that we are interested in. And now when we receive all of the menu items here that you can see here, if I just refresh menu items, I just need to loop through them and check if any of those have an underscore ID of ID that is here without underscore. So now let's check. I want to find my item inside items, and I want to find it by checking that this item inside this items has an underscore ID that is the same as ID from the use params here. Right, and then I know I can do console log of this item, right? One thing I forgot about is deleting. We need to implement it in both categories and menu items, but this will we will fix it in a while. So now if I go to here console log, as you can see we have open pizza 1. If I go back to menu items, I open pizza 3. It's pizza 3 now that is open. So now I can just fill all of this with my item info. So let's do set image, item image, and then let's do also set name to item name, and let's do set description to item description, and let's do set base price to item base price, and let's see, I think that's it. So we have this, and now if I refresh, let's see, everything is filled in. So if I select this one, pizza 2, with this forest, everything is filled in. Now we have this handle form submit, and we need to change this post to put, and we have this data here. We need to add underscore ID to be the ID from params, and this should work, I think. Let's do pizza 2 updated, and let's hit save, and saved, and we have this pizza 2 updated, and it seems to work. There's a lot of copy paste here, as you can see, for this form, and we have the form for both creating a new menu item and changing a menu item is almost the same, so we could maybe put it as a one component, but well, not needed now. We can simplify it later, we can refactor this later. For now it works, and now what we need to fix is that well, we can create and update categories, we can create and update menu items. We need to be able also to delete. If we don't want to have one of those categories, we need to have a button to delete. Same with menu items, if we want to delete something that we don't want to have. So now we will fix, so we can delete those, and then we can fix users and admins there. All right, there is another thing we are missing here on the menu items. We have base price of 12, but I would like to implement here extra additional prices. For example, if you have a pizza with different sizes, like small, medium, large, or extra stuff on your pizza, we should have this information here somewhere, right? So for example, if you want to have a pizza that is medium, it will be a little bit more expensive, and you want to have extra pepperoni, it will cost extra $2 or something like this. So I want to have it now, so we need to fix it. To do this, as you remember, we have form for creating a new menu item and for editing a menu item. Those two forms are almost, or actually the same. As you can see, if I scroll to, for example, this return here, and this is new, menu items, new page. So it looks like this. We have a section with form, and if I go to edit form and scroll to the exact same position, you can see that it's exactly the same. So I will do first some small refactoring, because I want to have it as one component, all of this. So I can also add the extra input for sizes and so on. So we have this form, and now we are on the edit form, and let's see, it's a section. Then we have this form. How much do we want to have in this component? Well, maybe let's put all of this except the button, or maybe we can even include the button, everything. Let me see. Here we have the section, here we have user tabs, then we have this button to go back, and then we have the form. Well, maybe it would be best to have first form as a separate component. So let me first grab the form. Let's cut it from here. Cut, and now if I save, it will disappear. But let me go back to here, and let's see where we can put it. We can put it in components. Yeah, somewhere here. Maybe let's put it into layout. Let's do new file, and let's call this one menu item form.js, and here let's do export default function menu item form, and now let's put everything here inside return. So return, and let's put all of this. As you can see, we don't have a state for this. So we need to also copy the state. So let's go back to the edit page, and let's scroll up here. And here we have state. So we have image name, description, base price, and so on. Let's grab those four: image name, description, base price. Let's cut it from here, and let's put this into here. All right. And now, what do we want to do? We have now state for all of the inputs inside this form. We don't have this handle form submit. We need to define it as a property here, right? So let's do on submit. Let's call it on submit, so it will be easier. And here on submit. All right. And now let's see if we have everything. I think yes, we do. Now, if we use this component, we want to pass the information like defaults about this menu item, right? So let's do here, I will pass here menu item, and here we will use this as default. So let's do menu item image, and now let's do the same for menu item name, and here default for menu item description, and here menu item base price. We can add also another defaults, like just in case, let's add empty string in case some of those are null or something like this. So we have something like this. Now let's go back to this menu items edit page. Let's see. Here we are fetching all of this. Here we have this handle form submit, and here is our return. It's super small right now. Here we we need to, under the button, we need to put our new form. So it's called menu item form. Yes, let's put it like this. And now we should be able to see it. No, we don't see it. And it's because we don't send, there's an error, because if you don't put menu item as a property, it tries to access the image, which is empty and null. So I'm going to add question marks here. In case it's empty, it will use those empty strings. Right, but now let's go back to here, and we want, because this edit page, we want to pass our menu item. For now I will put null, but the thing is, here we fetch information about the menu item, and we don't want to put it to state like this for each specific property. Instead, I want to put it as one thing, because we need this only as one thing. So let's do const, and let's do menu item, set menu item equals use state, and default will be, let's say, null. And then here, instead of doing all of those four, I will do set menu item, and here I will just put item that we find here. And now we can use this menu item down here. So let's do menu item like this, and let's see if I refresh. Let's see, we have everything filled in. If I go here, everything is filled in, so that is nice. So now we have on inside our, let's see, menu items edit ID page, we use this form here. Let's do the same for the new what's it called, new, for creating new menu item. But before, I think I forgot about this handle form blah blah blah. So let's do on submit, and here we can pass our handle form submit function like this. Now let's go to our new page, and here again I think we can just get rid of the whole form, and here we are just going to use menu item form imported. Yes, for our menu item it will be null, and for our on submit we need to pass let's see, handle form submit, right? And let's see where we have this handle form submit here. Here we have, as you can see, state for everything, and we don't need this anymore. It's used somewhere. It's used inside this handle form submit, so that is a small problem. Let's get rid of the state, and here inside this handle form submit we are trying to get image, name, description, base price, and so on. So to have it, actually we need to have it from our menu item form. This component needs to pass this information here on submit. So let's do, I will put this on submit into separate line. I will convert this to an arrow function on submit. Let's put event, and I want to also pass all of the information here, all of the state, description, and base price like this. So we have all of the information as a second param. Now if we go here to the handle form submit, we have data here as the second param, so we don't need to grab data here from the state that doesn't exist anymore. Right, so this works. We need to fix the same thing on the edit page, I guess. Let's scroll here. Here let's put data, and let's get rid of this. Except here we have underscore ID that we need to add. So we probably don't have it inside in the component that is this form. So I will remove this, and I'm going to redefine the data equals, and I want to put everything from the data. As you can see, we are creating a new object. We are spreading the data information that the form component passes, and we also add this underscore ID, and the ID comes from the URL, and it's here. All right, so now let's see if this will still work. We've done some refactoring, and I think it works. So let's see if I added pizza one. Let's change to pizza one updated. Let's saved pizza one updated. Works nice. So now I want to add those extra properties, so you can have extra sizes and other let's say other prices for different sizes. So we have here base price, but I would like to add something like, let me see. Let's first open this menu item form. Let's scroll down here. And before the save button, I want to have here extra sizes. So we can add small, medium, large, or something like this. I'm going to put a div here with a little bit of padding and color. So let's do background gray. Let's do 200, and inside I will put a label that will say sizes, and yeah. Let's add a little bit of padding, like padding 2, and rounded medium at least. So we have something like this. Let's add also margin bottom of 2. So we have something like this. And now here, as you can see, we don't have any sizes yet, but we need to have a button so we can add them. So add size specific price, or maybe add size like medium or large, something like this. You can probably name it better. All right, and this button, I would like this to be a background of white. So we have something like this. Could be a little bit smaller, but I think that's okay for now. Maybe we can make this shorter, add item size. Okay, and now we don't need to have any sizes, but if you want, you can click on it and you should see a row where you can add extra price for specific sizing. So now let's see, we have sizes here, and we have this button. We need to add on click for this button, right? So something will happen when we click on it. On click, and we need to add a type of button, so it will not submit the form. Right, on click, what do we want to do? On click, we want to have a row where it will say you need to put name for the size and extra price. So let's do this. On click, we will run a function that will be called add size, and we need to define this function. Maybe let's do it here. Function add size, and this function will add a row. So we need to have a state for sizes, and set sizes equals use state, and default will be empty array. And if we want to add the size, what it should do is it should set sizes, it should grab all the sizes, and it should add a new size to the old sizes. So let's do return. We want to put here new array of old sizes, and we want to add another size, and the size will be a name that will be empty string, and we will also have here price, which will be 0 by default. All right, and now we have this. Let's try to print those sizes here above the button. So here, let's do if sizes length is bigger than 0. Let's do end, and let's do sizes map, and for each size we want to do parentheses, and let's put a div, and I will put here an input for name. So let's do placeholder for size name, and another input for price. So let's put this type of number, and here placeholder extra price, something like this. And now we don't use this yet, but let's put this here. So maybe, yeah, let's put it here on the end. Value will be size of name, and here the value will be size of price. Let's see if it's correct. Yes. Let's put this, and the price will be actually not the total price. So if you want large, it will not be 12. If the base price is 10, the price will be additional price in this scenario. Maybe we can rename it. Let's put it as extra, maybe not extra price, cost price, I don't know. Let's keep it as a price for now. Right, so we have this. Now we will also need to have, let's see if this button will work. Yeah, it kind of does. Here we have number. Let's put it as a text and we'll style it later. Now I want this to be flex, this div, something like this, and let's add a gap of 2. Yes, and I think this looks fine. Now let's see, we have 2 inputs and we can put size names. I want to have labels for both of the inputs, so let's put divs, so we can have left and right side for several HTML elements. Input 1, input 2, and let's put labels here. Label first for size name, and the second will be label for extra price here. Yeah, something like this. And now we have value, but we don't have any on change, right? And we need to specify this as well. So on change we'll grab an event and we want to edit this specific size. How we can do this? We need to update our sizes. So it will update the whole state for sizes. So we need to run set sizes, and we need to grab the previous sizes, and I think it would be much easier to use a separate function. It will be, let's name this function just edit size, and let's put an arrow function here with event, and we will pass the event, and we want to also pass the index. Which size is it? Is it first, second, and so on? So I'm going to pass here index, and I will pass it here edit size. Now the same thing here for the price. So we need to have on change and event, and let's do edit size with the event and index, and we need to know what type of what we are changing here. So let's put here price, and here as a third param I will put name. Right, now we need to define this function, event, index, and the property. So let's do function edit size. First we get event, then we get index, and then we have what type of property we are editing. So this can be either name or price as a string. So first let's get new value, const new value, and we get it from event target value. Then we want to do set sizes, and let's get previous sizes, the old values. And now we want to define new sizes, and it will be a copy of previous sizes. We should be sizes. So now we have a copy of new sizes, and now we go to new sizes of this specific index and this specific property, and we change this value to new value, and now we just return here new sizes, so it will update this new sizes, so it will update with this function set sizes. Now let's check if we can put stuff here. I think it works. So I can edit this, and let's put another one, test 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it works. We should be able also to remove sizes, right? So I need to have a small button here so we can remove them. Let's scroll down here. Here we have those sizes. Let's add another div for the third column, and here we'll have a small button with class name background white, and I want to have an X here. Yeah, something like this. And I want everything to be aligned to the bottom. So we have flex here. Let's put items end. So now it's aligned to the bottom. But if I add margin bottom of 2 for this X, it will be more like this. All right. I think this will work for now. This button needs to be type of button, so it will not submit this form. And let's see. Now we can add the on click for this button to remove a specific row. So if we want to remove, let's do arrow function. We actually don't need an event here, so let's do just arrow function like this, and we just want to do set sizes. Let's grab the previous sizes, and we want to do all of the previous sizes except the one with the index of this index. So how can we do this? Simple way. We can do something like this: previous sizes, filter, and we can filter by value and index. We can check that we need to put here inside filter, we put an arrow function like this. We get the value of a specific size and index, and we just check that index is the same as index. Right. Let me see. We can probably make it simpler by putting this into a separate function. So let's put this function here. Let's name it remove size, and the only thing we will need here is an index, and let's put all of this code there. So I'm going to cut from here, and it was remove index of this specific index. All right, and now let's put the code here. All right, so we do set sizes, we get the previous sizes, and we return previous sizes, but we first filter them by checking that the index of the size is the same. Well, it should be different than the index that we want to remove, because we want to return here every size where the index is not the same as the index we want to remove. I can probably rename it index to remove, and here I can change this to index, and here just index. Right, so now let's see if I put test 1 and extra price 1, test 1, test 2, extra price 2. Let's add another one, test 3, extra price 3. Let's remove this one in the middle. So now we have test 1 and test 3. This works nice, and I think it's okay. All right, so now we have those sizes, and we can remove them, we can add them, and it seems to work fine. Maybe instead of this X, we could have a trash icon. So let's do search for trash, and let's copy this one, JSX, and let's go to our icons here, and let's do new file, and let's call it just trash.js, and let's do export default function trash, and let's do return here, and let's put it here. Right, here we have those default class names. I'm going to put it as a property class name, and let's put it here, class name, and the default is this. All right, so now we have this icon class name, and here we should have class with double S name. And now let's see, I have this trash icon. I want to go to my form, and here where we have sizes, I want to change this X to a trash icon. So let's put trash like this, and now let's see, yeah, we have a trash icon. It takes some amount of space on the left and right, and I would like to change it for this button. Let's check if I can do px of 0, if this will help. Yes, it does. Let's change it to maybe 2. Yeah, I think this is better now. Right, so this looks fine now, and maybe for this button I will add also a plus icon. That would be nice, right? So let's go to hero icons, and let's search for plus, and I think this one looks fine. Let's go to our icons. Let's do new file, and let's do plus.js, export default function plus, and let's put return, and here inside return let's put our SVG. As always, I'm going to put this class name as default with this with those classes here. Let's cut them from here. Let's put this as the property, and let's put those defaults here. Now let's put our plus into menu item form. So we have let's see, extra price. Here we have this button for trash. Here we have the button for add item size. So I will do something like this. I'm going to put this plus here. Let's do plus, yes, and this I'm going to put it inside the span. So let's see how it looks like now. Add item size. I think it looks fine. Maybe this plus is a little bit too big, but I can make it smaller with just class name, and I can assign classes like width of 4 and height of 4. And now it's smaller. The only thing that I need to fix is here items center, so it will be centered, and yeah, now I think it looks fine. Maybe we can have also for save also icons and icons for all of those, but we will fix it later. Now this sizes, it takes some space both here inside our HTML, and we have even here 3 functions. So maybe it would be nice to have it as a separate component. So I'm going to create a separate component for this. Let's put it inside the layout, and let's call this one menu item props. Or maybe price props .js, and with capital M, and I called it this way because here we have sizes, but later I'm going also to add the extras like extra pepperoni, extra, and so on, and it will be a completely different group. So let's first fix that we can have sizes here. So let's do export default function, and let's do, it was called menu item price, let's see, price props, maybe we can call it extras, I don't know. Let's call it menu item price props. Let's do return here, and well, first we want to paste all of this HTML here inside. So well, let me see, we have a button here, and here we have this whole gray box. So I'm going to just grab it like this. Let's cut this from here, and let's put this here. So as you can see, it's like 40 lines already, so it's good that we moved this. Now we need the state, so let's scroll up here. We will need those remove size, edit size, and add size as well, so I'm going to put those functions here. Now we need to have state, and let's go here, and as you can see, the state we need is this sizes and set sizes, so let's get it here. And now I think this should work. Let's just try to use it here. So let's use it here, menu item props, price props, like this. But we want this this component to inform our form when something changes. So I want to also have this sizes here as well. So let's do sizes and set sizes here equals use state, and default will be empty array, and I'm going to pass those here. So let's do here, let's call those props, let's do props equals, and we will have props and set props, and props will be sizes, and here set props will be set sizes. All right, and now let's go here inside, and let's grab those props and set props, and instead of doing this sizes and set sizes, I'm going to change this to set props here. So let's select all of those, let's do set props, and now let's go to our sizes. Let's see, here we have those sizes, and let's rename those to props, and this is not like all the props, it's just props, it's just menu item price props, but I think props is much shorter to write. And okay, now we have 2 columns here, and we should also rename this function edit size and add size to something more like add prop. So let's edit this add size to add prop, and now let's rename this edit size to, let's see, it's in 2 places, to edit prop, so we will have a better naming. And now remove size, let's rename this to remove prop. Right, and we have this all the sizes. Let's rename it as well. So I'm going to select on those 2 places, and let's do all the props. All right, and now we don't need this use state anymore. Let's go back here, and let's see if this will work. Let's do 1, 2, 3, test 1, extra price 1, test 2, extra price 2, test 3, extra price 3. Let's remove the middle one, and looks like it works. So now let's go to menu item price. No, let's skip here on the form, and it works. But if we go to menu item price props, we have those wording about the prices. And maybe we can first fix the sizes, this whole label here. Let's have it as a name, and let's grab it as a property here, name of this price prop group. And now let's go back here to menu item form, and this price props will be called name with sizes like this. So we have sizes here, and we have here sizes, but we also have a button that says add item size. Let's add label, and here I will have something like add item size, and it will be text for the button. Let's go here and add label, and let's use this add label here. So here let's do add label, and now we have labels for here extra price and the name. I think we can just rename this size name to just name, and we are golden. Name and extra price. All right, and now you may be thinking why we are doing this, why we make it so generic, and it's because now we can do add another group, and it will have a name of let's say extra ingredients, and let's put this like this. And now, as you can see, we can add extra ingredients. Let's also add here stuff like add label, add ingredients prices, so something like this. And we need state for this. So like we have sizes and sizes, we will have something like extra ingredient in ingredient prices, and set extra ingredient prices use state default will be empty array. Let's pass them down here. So let's do props will be extra ingredient prices, and set props will be set extra ingredient prices. Right, I'm going to put this ending here, so it will be so it will look nicer, this thing here. And now let's see, if I refresh, we have it here. I'm going to put 3 here and maybe 2 here. Let's see if this work. Size small, extra price 0. Now the size will be medium, extra price 2, and here large, extra price 4. Extra ingredients, let's do, I don't know, cheese, extra price 1, and here maybe ham, and let's do extra price 1 as well. So this looks nice. The only thing is that we are not saving it. So we have this on submit, but we are not passing this to our information about the item. So we can add it like this, sizes and extra ingredient prices. Maybe we can actually name this extra ingredients prices, or maybe let's keep it this way. I don't know, it doesn't hurt to have longer names. So I need to put maybe this into separate line, so we will have more spacing, and and let's put maybe this here. No, it can be like this. Let's put this here and this here and this here, so it will be easier to read it. All right, so we have it. Now we need to handle this sizes and extra ingredients inside our this edit page. So for example, this inside our handle form submit data, we are grabbing all of the data and we are sending this to API menu items, put if we are updating, and post if we create a new. Let's go now to this API here, API menu items route, and we have all of this data here, and we create it or we update this. So we need to go to this menu item and we need to actually update here. So we will have sizes, and we also need to have this what was it called? Let's go here. It was called extra ingredient prices. Maybe we could actually name it to like sizes prices, or yeah, let's do sizes, or maybe I don't know, extra ingredient prices. Here we have wave prices, and on the another part on the sizes we have no, it doesn't really matter. Let's do sizes and extra ingredient prices. So here sizes and extra ingredient prices. All right, and we need to specify how those will look like, right? So I will do another schema just for those two. Let's do const and it will be extra prices and or extra price, and extra price will be a schema where we will have like a name that will be a string and price that will be a number. And now here in sizes, sizes will have type of extra price, that is the type will be an array of extra prices schema, and maybe let's rename it to extra price schema, and let's put here extra price schema. And same for the extra ingredient prices, the type of this field will be an array of extra prices schema, extra price schema. Right, now I need to restart my environment, so we will have those new changes inside our menu item schema, and let's see if it will be saved. So now if I hit saving this tasty item, saved. Okay, I don't remember which one was it. I think it was pizza 1. No, nothing saved here. Pizza 2, nothing. Pizza 3, nothing. Okay, I don't see anything. Let's see if it's saved into database. Right, so let's go database and let's see browse collections, and let's see if we have here menu items, and let's see if any of those has those extra ingredients. Here we have some extra ingredients. So we have sizes, and we have here medium price 2, large price 4. Yeah, so this works nice. So we have it on, let's see which item, pizza 2 updated. Let's go pizza 2 updated. So this one has it inside the database, but it's not displayed. Let's see why. Let's go to our menu item form, and let's see. We are grabbing this menu item, but we don't set the defaults as we do with image name. We don't do this for sizes. So let's do here menu item sizes, or default will be empty array, and here the same thing, menu item question mark dot and extra ingredient prices, or default will be empty array. Right, so this is like super long now. Maybe we can make it a little bit shorter. Let's see if I make it maybe something like this. Yeah, so it will be easier to read. Now let's see if I refresh, will I get my sizes? Yeah, and now a nice thing will be, so we can open and close those sections here. So as you remember, this one is called menu item price props, and here we have this label here. Maybe first we can also make this label, this one, a little bit bigger or a little bit darker. So let's do class name, and let's do, maybe don't call it a label, let's put a div, and let's put an H3 here, and it will say our, what was it? I think it was label. No, it's a name. It's a name. So we have something like this, sizes. Let's make it more grayish. So let's do class name and text gray of, let's do 700, something like this. Let's see, sizes, yes. And I want to have a button maybe next to sizes that will do close and open. So I want to have like a toggle button here, and when I click it, it will open and close this section. I want this to be next to this H3. So on this div, I'm going to do flex, and I'm going to do gap of 1. Right, so this button takes too much space. So the first thing is that I need to put type of, sorry, not here, type of button on it, button. And what else? I need to put also some class names. Let me maybe put those class names here. I will put class names here, type here, and let's put this here and this here. And now the class names will be, I want this button to be shorter. So let's do display of flex column. Let's do flex column. No, not flex column. This is direction. Flex inline, or how is it called? Inline flex. The class name is called inline flex. And now I want to make it smaller, the button. So I want to shrink. So let's do shrink. This didn't help. Maybe it will help if we add grow on this H3. No, it didn't. Let's try with putting another div, and let's put this button inside this div. Okay, now it's like, now button is smaller, so that is good. And let's remove this shrink. Let's see. Yeah, the shrink is not needed. I want to make smaller padding, so let's do padding on every side of just 1. And now I would like to have a toggle icon for up and down. So let's do maybe search for resize. No, up, and we have something like this. This looks nice. I want to have something like this, up and down. So we can toggle this, or we can have icons like this, chevron up and chevron down. I think I will take those. We have this one, and then we need to have another one to open. So we need chevron up and chevron down. Let's add those icons inside the components icons. Let's call this one chevron down.js. Let's see if I call it correctly. Let's see. Yes. Let's do here export default function chevron down, and let's do return here, and let's paste this. Now we need to grab those class names in case we want to change something here. Let's put class name, and now let's put our class name here as defaults. Let's do the same for chevron down. Let's do new file, chevron down.js. No, this time we need to do up, sorry, chevron up.js. Export default function chevron up, and let's do return. And inside we need to have a chevron up icon here. So let's search for this one, copy JSX. Let's put it here. And for those class names that we get here, let's use it as a property called class name that we will grab here. Class name, and the default will be this. So now it looks like this, and now let's use it. Let's go to menu, item, price, props. Here we have this toggle, and I want to have first the chevron down icon, Let's see how this will look like here. Yeah, it looks like this. I want to add background of white here on this. Yes, now we have flex. Let's do items center. So it looks like this. Well, it looks fine, but maybe we can put this sizes into this button. That would be nice, right? Let's put this label here into a span, and we don't don't need this h3 anymore, and we don't need this div, and we probably don't need this div for the flex. So we can put this like this. Now we have sizes like this, and I don't want to have any background here, and I don't need to have any border. So let's do border 0. Yes, and I want this to be aligned to the left. So let's do justify start. So we have something like this. Now if I click on it, nothing happens, and if I click, I want to toggle if it's open or not. Let's create a state for this. Is open, and a set is open, and equals use state, and the default will be false. So by default it will be closed. Use state. Let's import this one from React. And now here for the chevron, let's do first is open. If it's open, then we want to have an icon to close it. So let's do chevron up, and if it's not, so we can do not is open, and we can do this and chevron down like this. So now it should be closed, but we still see everything here, and this is because we need to put another div here that will just have all of this inside. So let's put this, all of this into this div, and the thing is that we need to make this div hidden. We need to make this div hidden if it's is open is false. So here I would do is open. If it's open, we will have a class name block. Otherwise, we'll have class name hidden. So now as you can see, it's hidden, but if I click it, nothing happens because the button doesn't have any on click. Let's do button on click. Let's do arrow function, and let's do set is open, and I'm just going to do something like this. I will go get the previous value, and I will just return the opposite. So now if I click, yeah, it opens and closes. So that is nice. Maybe I can also put a number of how many sizes and how many extra ingredient prices we have here. So here we have this name. Let's also add another span here, and in parentheses we will have props length. So let's do here props length like this. I'll add here question marks just in case. So we have extra sizes here of 3, and here extra ingredients of 2. So that looks nice. And if I go and edit, for example, this one, it will say sizes 0, extra ingredients 0. Yeah, but it works and it looks much nicer now. So now we have those sizes and extra ingredients. And this is because, for example, pizza 2 will have, I will remove this updated. Pizza 2 will have a base price of 12, but if you want to have small, then it will be 12. But if you want to have a medium, it will be 12 plus 2. So 14 for medium, and then $16 for large pizza. Let's hit save. Let's see if it still saves. Yes, works. Nice. So now this works. We have menu items, and we can add and remove those extra properties. The next thing would be, so we can actually delete menu items. If I want to delete pizza 3, how can I do this? And same with categories. If I want to delete this one, I cannot do this. And one small thing I forgot about is that when you edit a menu item, we need to assign a category, right? So for example, test category or something like this. We don't have any category here. So now we'll first do category and then delete on both menu items and categories, and then we can go to users and admins. All right, so now let's fix so we can actually delete categories, and we can also delete menu items. So for categories, I think we can do something like this. First, we will